kids, it's November. It is November already. How did that happen? I feel like I was just on vacation in New Hampshire, sunning myself, changing races, and now I'm back to pale Irish white, and it's cold out. And hi, look at everybody in here. Good morning. This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Let's see who's here. I saw Jay Warren is already here. Hi, Jay Warren. We got Dog Mom. Hi, Mama. We have LawTube's most hated mod, my police daddy, Scott. Got Jay Warren. Hi, Rosie. We have Drew K in the house. Hey, girl. Mermaid in a wine glass. Hi, Mama. Beautiful girl. Crafty Chris. Hi, bestie. We have Brian Scott. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Can you guys just verify you can hear me loud and clear? We have Lucas. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Lucas. It's good to see you on a Sunday morning. We have Jen in the house. Hi, Jen. Sarah Dawn. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. We have Lord Pissa. Equal parts. Hi, hippie chick. Hi. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, loud. I bet I am loud and clear. I've heard. And hey, Rob. It's good to see you. And Dave from the Laborers Union. Hi, Dave. We have Colleen. Hi, Colleen. It's good to see everybody, you guys. So I was just almost late to my own live because it's Hallmark season. It's Hallmark Channel season, and I cannot get enough of Candace Cameron from November to January 1st. Okay. I'll watch all of the Hallmark stuff. Okay. All of it. Give me all the Hallmark Channel. And then I go from that to the Smiley Face Killer. Both relevant. Both are relevant and both are amazing. Kay is in the other room on his tablet having some breakfast. Good to see you too, honey. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to that stuff. But do I believe that it's for me? I don't think so. I just don't. I'm not nice enough. However, I will take all of the Hallmark Channel. From yesterday, I literally sat in my recliner, and that's what I did. I watched Hallmark Channel, and it was amazing. I watched 4 movies. Yeah. Yeah, I am all about Hallmark movies. Okay. All about it. And I like all the autumn stuff. I used to be obsessed with the Good Witch. Remember that show? Give me all of that. Okay, give me all of that, because I watch a lot of I watch a lot of crime. Okay, I watch a lot of shit that would probably keep people awake at night. Not this girl. Nope, not this one. But give me some Candace Cameron Bure, or whatever the fuck her last name is, and I'll sit there for hours. Can we just okay? So before we get started, so November 1st comes yesterday, and I'm like, oh, now is the time to get reservations for different things that I want to do with Kaden. I'm like Buddy the Elf. I'm not hosting Thanksgiving this year, so I'm putting out my tree next week. It's happening. I hope Zoe doesn't knock all the shit over, but it's happening. So I brought Kaden, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I brought him to the Natick Mall to the Magic Santa elevator. It was so cute. Okay. But I think he was a little too young. And I was like, it was more for me. Right? It was more for me than it was for him. But I go November 1st, the reservations open. And so I was like, I'll get a reservation. I'll get a time, no big deal. So I find the go see Santa. I was like, okay, so we'll go do that. And then I want to bring him to the Magic elevator. Bro, I logged in at like 2 in the afternoon, all of the reservations were taken up. All of them. Every day from the time it opens to the time. Wait, whose birthday is it? Amy, will you give a shout out? Oh, happy birthday, Mrs. Makings. Hello. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. Making. Happy birthday to you. I'm a romantic guy. My wife is. Listen, I like her. I love Hallmark movies too. Bruce has done a few videos reviewing some. Listen, there's always the same plot. Always the same plot. There's always like a handyman who took the wrong path in life, and his father wished he became a doctor. And then there's a girl that has amnesia and forgets who she is and falls in love, and she stays in the backwoods of Maine, chopping wood, right? And then there's like, Santa is his toy house is somewhere on the property, and there's fucking reindeer, and give me all of that, all of it. Give it to me. More than one. I'll watch 6 movies in a row with that same plot twist, and I'll love every single one of them. And is it even a Hallmark movie without Candace Cameron? Okay. And there's like certain guys, like I judge the male characters. Like I either vibe with you or I don't. If I don't, yeah, they're all the same, mermaid. They are all the same. Every single one. There was this one that I watched yesterday, and she was like a fashion designer, and she was supposed to come to Boston to be like, somebody. And then they sent her to like fucking Saskatchewan, and she hit her head, and she forgets who she is and what she does. And this family that has like, and why can I get the interior decorator for those homes? There was Christmas decorations on the plane. Like, have you guys ever looked at the shows and been like, I want a Christmas tree in my bedroom? I do. I want a Christmas tree in my bedroom. I love that one. Yeah. Mermaid. Yes. And the lazy shirt. Yes, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So in any case, yeah. So you'll catch me. I mean, I had a cup. Someone made it for me. Crafty Chris got it made for me, actually. We're either slaying or slaying. And it's like we're either slaying, meaning like Christmas, or we're slaying, meaning murking. I have that cup and I love it. And Crafty Chris had it made for me. I might, mermaid. I might be getting a tree for my room. And like, I want like wreaths in every room and like jingle bells. And I want it all. I want a plane where I go in and there's wreaths and decorations and a 7-foot Christmas tree in the cab of the plane. Like where is that place? Because I want to live there. I said to Nana before, I'm like, Ma, is there a place in New England that we can go that's like that? Right? Is there anywhere? Like, sign me up. I don't care how much it is. Sign me up. Hi, Wayne. It's good to see you, baby. I actually brought Kay to Santa's Village up in Glen, New Hampshire, which is like, you may as well be on the Canadian border. Okay. And all it did was rain, but it was really cool. We got to like feed reindeer and get a picture with Santa in July. It was cool. It was really cool. And they actually do have a Santa Lodge, like a resort, I guess they call it. It's not a resort. It's not like you're going to Cancun, but they call it a resort, and there's like themed rooms and stuff. So there's that. I can always, oh, thanks, Mermaid. Thanks, Maria. Santa's Village is a good time. Yeah, it is a good time. It is. And like, Kay was 4 at the time, and there's like a elevator that, like, the ones that have at Six Flags and they go right up top and they drop. I don't like the drops, but I went on with Kate. Honey, oh my God. Yes, it's way up there. It's so far up. Um, I love it, but after so long in a house with so many kids that grew up, I was so clear. Yeah, that there's that. There's definitely that. And like we have to pull all of our Christmas decorations up from the basement, and like it's a whole thing. But I'm putting my tree up next week. Pictures to come, kids. I want to like bathe in the Christmas season. I love Christmas. My mother always made Christmas extra special for us. Like, they always say like the magic of Christmas you find out when you're older is just like your parents' love, right? And it's so true. I never really realized how much that is so true and how much it meant until I had my own. And then like the greatest joy I have in the past 5 or 6 years is like waking up and seeing Kay open up all of his presents and be so excited. Like that's like the greatest joy. And I have no self-control. I have zero self-control when it comes to my child. I'm out. I start shopping in September and I'm until Christmas Eve. Like I'm like, I just need to go pick up like one more thing. No self-control. Oh my God, that's right. You do have six. Like it's a lot. Zoe is getting her own stocking this year. I love all of it. Yeah. Kay's he's so excited, and so I'm gonna try to get him to the magic elevator if I can. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. But there's a bunch of things that like we are go during Christmas. We're seeing all the lights. We're seeing everything. We're doing everything because I love Christmas and I want him to love Christmas. I want him to feel that magic that we all felt when we were kids, just like you guys want your kids to feel that way. I just, yeah. So anyway, all right, I digress. Today we are going to be going over the Smiley Face Killer. I know my homegirl Kim knows all about the Smiley Face Killer, all about it. I do too. I know mostly about the Smiley Face Killer that is loose in Boston. That a bunch of college age boys go missing and they end up at the Charles River along that like Cambridge, Brighton, that whole several people. And there's always a smiley face around the area. Oh, okay. So we'll do a quick recap of it. I actually have another stream that I did. I think before you found me over here, we did the Smiley Face Killer. There was like a 3-hour live where we went over everything. So the Smiley Face killers, no one knows. Okay, this has been going on since the early 90s. Okay, where male, college age, athletic, good-looking boys go missing and are found in and around a body of water dead. Sometimes the places that they are found were already searched. Nothing came about it, like nothing came of it. And they think that there is a serial killer killing college-aged boys. Now, this has been going on for decades. I am under the assumption now, because there were several bodies found on the bayou down south, where they think that this is the Smiley Face Killers. It's said that there is a group of, is it Hippie Chick? What? Okay, so it's happening in Chicago right now. It's happening down in Louisiana Bayou. It happens up here. It happens everywhere. So they think that there's like an organization. I have questions about that. Do I think it could be an organization? I do. I think it could be like who knows, maybe a Discord group. We all know how Discord rolls, right? That there are a group of people that make a pact, and in Houston, yes, girl, absolutely, it is dark web, yeah. Oh, hey Rob. Amy, I learned to share the name of your stream you did in details. It helps everyone catch up. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm so bad at this YouTube thing. I do not know. Like I'm just like we are unprofessional over here. We are so unprofessional. Hi on top. It's good to see you, honey. Calypso's in the house. I have not heard of anyone in Arizona, but it definitely could. I mean, yeah, so this is happening all over the country. It happens outside the country. I think we learned during our last stream about this that it happens overseas too. They say that there's like copycat killers, but that's just like it's too good. So when the bodies are found of these people that go missing, the ones in Boston, a lot are college age kids who are leaving the bars downtown, walking by themselves, and they end up going missing and are found at the Charles River, right, or the Neponset River or wherever. What does Hippie Chick say? Indy is now on its 7th body in the White River, and people are now thinking something's going on here. Oh, Kim, do you hear this? It's good to see you. Thanks, Rob. Yeah. So, and when the bodies are found, there is a smiley face, like my thumbnail, somewhere in the vicinity of the body being found. But often the places that they're found are places that have been searched. So we kind of came to the conclusion that these killers could be like holding their bodies and then dumping them. Yeah, and so we haven't had any. Hold on, in New Hampshire, we just have people go missing, can't be found. Like, how scary is that, Jen? How fucking scary is that? Like, you leave the house one day, never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. It's a sick group of people that are doing this. People not causing it. Yeah, I agree. I'm still scared another will drop between now and New Year's. And yeah, stage drownings on X. Yeah, there's stage There are people that are they say were like they had no water in their lungs. There's been ligature marks on necks, foreheads, wrists, ankles, everything. But it was just a drowning. And listen, we have seen police want to wipe their hands of cases over and over and over and over. They don't want no heat. They don't want any heat. They don't want to be like, oh, we're not doing our jobs. Do you guys have your coffee? I have hot chocolate today. Going in my theme of Hallmark movies, I have mint hot chocolate, kids. I agree. I mean, look, so Jen saying in New Hampshire, Hippie Chick says in Indiana, and where else did you say? Chicago. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And stuff. Everyone needs to watch. Yeah, I agree, Rob. I agree, honey. I was just talking to my boys about this yesterday. Be careful. My son goes to Chicago a lot to see his friend, and they go to. It's so scary. Riley Strain in Tennessee. He was away with his college buddies, and he left the bar, got thrown out because he was too drunk, and ended up dead in the Tennessee River. And they're like, nothing to see here, nothing to see, like fucking questions. It is a very, very scary world we live in. The new day and age of the internet and people thinking they're fucking tough. Yeah, poor Riley. Drew, you know that. Like, poor Riley Strain. His poor mother. His poor fucking mother. His poor mother. And like girls, like we, I think, are taught at a very young age, do not go anywhere alone. like, don't go anywhere alone. If you don't leave a bar, always have a buddy. Like me and my girl Jen, we were like this. Wherever I went, she went. Wherever she went, I went. Like there was never separating us ever. Like ever, ever, ever. To this day, we're in our 40s and we're still like where one is, the other one is. He had a little alcohol. It was GHB. Yeah, and that's another thing too. So our GHB is found in these kids' systems over and over and over and over again. And the police are just like, there's no serial killer. There's no organized group that is out killing these boys. Like, boy moms, like, as a woman, we always had that buddy system. Boys are not told these things. Are not told, like, don't leave each other. I never, ever, are ever told that. You, like, please, as a boy mom, I'm going to be telling my son, never leave somewhere alone. Always be with somebody. Always be with. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It does not matter. Okay? Always be with somebody. Not victim shaming, but just for, like, because these kids don't know. They probably lived in in places that were not dangerous, that, they go to this, like, big city and all of a sudden shit like this happens, right? If I ever get an Uber on FaceTime, yeah, girl, fucking preach. Hold on one second. Caden's tearing up Nana's nerve. All right. Crash test dummies dressed up. Yeah. Rescue Randy. Yeah, the footage of Riley being caught, like, on the street stumbling around like he was falling. Very sad. And I can't imagine being his mother. Like, what? Like, you want to believe that nothing's ever going to happen to you. You want to believe that, like, that nothing's going to ever happen to your kids and stuff like that. But I always like to know, like, what is happening in the world. So I'm prepared. I like to be fucking prepared. As much as I can, I want to be prepared for whatever life has to throw at me. And people who don't want to look at things like this because they're like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. How are you supposed to, like, know what's going on around you? I want to know all the things, all of it. I want to know all of it. Kung Fu Panda is on Nana's last nerve. I can hear it in the other room. And he's apparently he had Zoe. Crashed to what does it say? All right, guys. So I've pulled some clips from Brian Enton. So the Smiley Face Killer has been around for decades. Okay, it has been said that it is one person. It has been said that it is a group of people. I believe we speculated last time that it could be. Someone said that it could be like a women who were violated by people that were like this, and they're seeking revenge. Other people said it could be homosexual men that live a heterosexual life and they are attracted to these type of boys, so they go after them when they're alone at night. They hunt them, essentially, right? Yeah, I think it's a group now too. After our last live, I believe it's a group. How they configure the group and no one's spilled the beans yet is beyond me, but I do believe it's a group. How could it be just one person when it's all over the country, outside of the country? Like, this person, that's all one person would be able to do. My kids, the stuff seems to happen to some of them. Miles has the worst. Oh, honey. Copycats of Group Run Nation. Yeah. I mean, it could be. We don't know, right? We're speculating, but this has been going on, and the police never want to admit that it's a fucking problem. It's a huge problem. I mean, The only reason I know this case is, well, I've been into this for like a really long time. The ones that happened in Boston, and I actually found the video of the guy who escaped the Smiley Face Killer, and hopefully we get to it today. There has been supposedly, allegedly, a person who was supposed to be taken by or hurt by the serial, and he got away, and he lives to tell the tale of it. So we have that, right? We have that. Please listen, I am not a police hater, okay? I am pro police, I am pro military, and I fucking stand on that. However, we all know there's corruption. We all know that, like, they don't want to, cause panic in the communities. They don't want more paperwork, or, like, our Mass State Police in Massachusetts just don't do paperwork. They don't want it. They don't want the heat. So these boys are being taken right, left, and sideways. They're being found at water, and they're being the ME saying that they're drowned. They drowned, but there's no water in the lungs, so they weren't breathing when they were put near the water to begin with. They never inhaled. Please pick and choose the cases to follow. Yeah, absolutely, Rob. I totally agree with you. It's because you're a hottie. Your husband can't keep his hands off you. I respect law, even though, yeah, 100%. I'm the same way. I have law enforcement family and, like, military family active, right? Mom? Hold on one second. I love you. Sorry, guys. Hang it up. Kung Fu Panda wanted to call his cousin. If you're new to this, watch the 6-series documentary on Prime. Definitely. Actually, Kim, can you get the link to that and put it in the chat for people? Exactly. My ex-husband's an ex-police in Georgia. They want to go. Yeah, they want to. I mean, and I don't blame. If you don't have the answers, you can't give the answers, right? But, like, I don't find it a coincidence that there are the same type of boy all over in big cities, big college towns, and they end up dead by the water. Hi, Tracy V. Hi, beautiful. Okay, yeah, take your time. They're finding. Excuse me. No, hold on one second. Hold on. All right, let's start this. Kung Fu Panda.
Sorry.
Kids. Have kids, they said. Have them. They're fine. Boys at the age of 3, at the age of 5, totally normal. They listen all the time. Yeah, he's on one. He wants to like pick up he wants. Oh, we have Bukaki. Hey, hi, honey. Hi, Hubs. This is my YouTube boyfriend. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, he's such a boy. All right, let's get so are we all kind of established of what the smiley face killer is said to be, and then we'll get into it. So there have been so many of these murders, so many, and then there's been more down south in Chicago. And Brian Enton, our friend, from his own hold on here. From his own channel, Brian Enton on YouTube. I love him. I love Brian Enton. I am a huge fan. He goes over this. It's the Smiley Face Killer Network, Austin, Houston, Chicago deaths, possible connection to serial killers. Let's get into it. Oh, thanks, Kimmy. All right.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. I'm on the move again. I'm in the airport right now, but I have been digging into these mysterious deaths in Houston, Texas, these bodies found in the bayou, and now I'm starting to look into also what happened in Austin, Texas, and in Chicago too. Bodies found in different lakes and rivers, and something known as the Smiley Face Network. And there's these detectives who have been looking at who say there could be 1,000 deaths connected to a smiley face network. I know it sounds really.
So now Brian Enton is saying that it is a smiley face network and not the smiley face killer, right? So there is truth in some conspiracy that there are a network of killers that are going around and doing the needful for the smiley face killer. Okay, there's a group of them.
Really strange, but I'm going to dig into all of it in this episode of Brian Enton Investigates. Hey guys, so what is going on in Houston, Texas? I did the story about Kenneth Cutting Jr., the young man who was found in the bayou. There were no signs of foul play. Police say it's essentially just an inconclusive autopsy. They couldn't figure out what happened to him, but they didn't call it a homicide. Case closed. I've spoken to his family, by the way, since the last episode I did, and they're not happy. They said that they were never even told officially that the case was closed by police until now. But there have been 16 people in the bayou so far this year, many more before that. In a moment, I'm going to talk to a former NYPD homicide detective who's been digging into a lot of these mysterious deaths in the country about his exact take on what is going on. Also, he's been investigating what's happening in Austin, Texas. Theories about what's been called the Rainy Street Ripper.
Essentially, Wait a minute. The Rainy Street Ripper? I have never heard of this. Kimmy. The Rainy Ripper? We gotta look into that. That might be Sunday show next week, kids. I don't know. Let's see. You put me on. There you go. All right.
Actually, deaths around the Lady Bird Lake. There were 189 drownings there since 2004. There was actually just this study that was done by Texas State University in conjunction with the Austin Police Department. They collaborated for the study, and they claim that there is no indication of foul play. But again, you're going to hear from this former detective in a second, who's.
But like they always say that there's no foul play. They always say that. Like they always like, oh, these aren't the Rainy Ripper. All right, we got to look at it. We got to look into it. All right, the Rainy Ripper. But the police are always saying that there's no connection. There's no foul play. If you find 16 fucking boys near water, Isn't that a good indication that something fucking going on? Kind of like Lisk, the Long Island serial killer. He had all those bodies at the water wrapped in burlap, and they were looking for one person who was never found, and found all those other bodies in a cascade around the water. So don't tell me, fucking law enforcement, don't give me that shit.
Says he thinks basically the total opposite. According to the study, they said, let's not spend money and time chasing phantom serial killers. That's the way they described it. Phantom serial killers, because social media is propagating something that's sensational to get more clicks. That was according to Dr. Kim Rossmo, a professor of criminal justice at Texas State University and the director of the Center for Geospatial Intelligence and Investigation.
Right?
I'm not doing this to get more clicks. I mean, there's been all these dead bodies. There's families who are upset. We've got this former homicide detective. Again, you're going to hear from him in a second, who doesn't seem to be wanting to get clicks. So it's kind of an interesting statement there from the study. But they said they found that there was no indication of a serial killer. We found the number of drownings to be consistent with the historical frequencies of drownings in Austin, but also comparable to Texas generally. So they're saying nothing to see here when it comes to these drownings in Austin. And also the police chief and the mayor in Houston, Texas, have been saying the same thing, that they don't believe it's criminal, say that there's drug overdoses, homeless people. Again, you talk to the families of some of these people who were found in the bayou, and they don't buy it.
Yo, but isn't that like the way to go, where like they're going to be like, no, there's no serial killer in my city. I want the tourists to come here. I want people to want to come to these colleges. I want people to want to be here. I don't want to do my job. Okay? That's what I hear. Hi, Jay Warren. Hi, honey bunny. It's good to see you. I don't buy this. And, you know, and the fact that the families are like, well, you know, I don't buy that there isn't someone out here doing this. Okay. Is it possible that there are homeless around there that are with drug overdoses? Are there probably some people around that live on the street that overdose and die? Absolutely. 100%. But all of them? All of them. Especially when it's the same MO that has gone on up north, up here. One of the bodies was found by the state police barracks downtown Boston, by the police barracks. I always heard that it was law enforcement doing it. That's a conspiracy that I've gone down the rabbit hole in. And yeah, exactly, hippie chick. It's really good to see you, mama. Sweep it under the rug. Bye. See ya. Like, how are we? Right. Well, okay. So with this, I speculated that it could be a bunch of guys that are homosexual that live a heterosexual life, and these are the guys that they are attracted to and are mad that they can't be who they want to be, and so they go out and hurt the people. That's been like one of my theories on this. I've always thought that in some way, shape, or form, right? I do believe that there's more than one, and it is a network. What does it say? It reminds me of the Manchester Pusher in the UK. You ever heard of that case? I have not. I'm interested, though. The cops refused to admit it's a killer. Men found dead in water, no injury. Oh, Kim! Is it the smiley face in Manchester, UK? I mean, is it attractive? Yeah, and these boys aren't like fucking slobs. These boys are like fit and attractive and and you would have to drug them to like get them to submit. Closet gay people are all, yes. Yeah. One of my best friends, until he was able to like come out as gay, he was a very angry person. And I would always encourage him, like, if you like boys, like, that's okay. You know what I mean? we can talk. We can talk about men together. And so I mean, that is very true. And I know back being an Irish Catholic, you know, back in the day, it was not okay to be gay. It just wasn't. And people would have their like what the life that they presented to the world, and then the one that they privately had, right? So, Kaden,
I'm not coming in here.
Yeah. In Manchester, some bodies were found near the gay bar. Yeah, right. You should look into Herb. He was a serial unalive right down the street from me in the 90s. They were finding bones. Oh, stop it. I'm hold on, let me write this down. I need to look. I'm gonna look into it regardless. Thank you, hippie. We're gonna look into it. A friend of mine growing up was so nasty. He came out and he's like, yeah. I mean, can you imagine what that feels like to feel like you can't be who you are, right? Like that feeling of feeling like Eileen Warnos, yes, girl. To feel like you can't be who you are, that would make somebody angry. That would make someone, and if like the kid that was found down in the bayou, like if he was openly gay and was openly living his life the way that he wanted to, that could piss somebody like that off too. Like, you have the life that I want, but I can't have that life because people will judge me. Right? Eileen Warnos, she went to the men Peter sex because yes. Eileen Warnos is fascinating. That poor woman, like she got the death penalty, but at the end of like she was so horrifically abused. Okay, back then they didn't really have. No, we're not doing that. No.
Something. Who's
Here? Say hi. Say hi.
hi?
This kid. All right, bye. So
Mom.
yeah, so
Mom?
if these people, oh my God, you guys. Just hitting me with a trash can, that's fine. That's totally normal, right? Boy. So yeah, I'm so far gone right now with this kid. I just want like a scoop of that energy. He wakes up to the time his feet hit the floor in the morning. From the time his feet hit the floor. Okay. One second. Let me go make sure. All right, kids. All right. We're back. Back in action. Yeah, Santa's watching, buddy. I mean, he listen, you're like gentle parenting. I burst a whole thug. Okay. He'll step toe to toe with me. I'll be like, don't do that. And he's like, I birthed a whole thug. Gentle parenting does not work on him. I drove along the trails into the city every morning for about 10 years. They were fishing bodies out occasionally. It is so common, it could be the perfect crime. Yes, equal. Especially down that area, like down it is the perfect crime. It is the perfect crime. And clearly so. It's been working year after year after year after year because the police aren't fucking doing anything about it. Amy, you need more than just, yeah. 100%. Like, can I get 5 minutes? Can I get 5 minutes to myself? Yes, can you please? Can you please? Oh my goodness. Yo, and then I'm like, Jingles, his elf, is coming from the North Pole on Thanksgiving night. And I'm like, Jingles is gonna be watching your ass. So FAFO. Oh, hi, Tar Heel. It's good to see you. Oh, we love Tar Heel. I hope your project is going really good. You have until tomorrow, girlfriends. Oh, thanks for popping in. Fox Hollow Farms, Docks on. Ooh, that sounds good. Mermaid, you need to stop looking for traces at the bottom of the ocean. You guys. This has been going since the 90s. I know in Boston, it's been going since like early 90s. It might even be sooner, like later than that. I don't even know. All the people found in the trials from Mass and Cass. Yeah, absolutely. Look at all the drug addict, working girls that end up just disappearing. Just disappear. No trace of them anywhere. Guarantee they're on the Charles River. Guarantee you. You guys. Girl, me too. Me too. All right, let's keep going. Kung Fu Panda has me all fucking sideways right now. Hold
on. So there's these former detectives. They're looking into the deaths. They say police are trying to cover up what's actually going on. And they point to what they call, and this is where it gets interesting, what they call the Smiley Face Killer Network, the Smiley Face Network. The term Smiley Face, it became connected to the alleged murders when it was made public that the police had discovered graffiti depicting a smiley face near locations where they think the killer dumped bodies in at least a dozen of the cases. Again, these aren't necessarily the cases in Austin and Houston, but these who have been looking into this believe that cases in Austin and Houston could possibly be connected. Now, keep in mind, this is different than the the Happy Face Killer. That guy's name is Keith Hunter Jesperson. He worked as a truck driver and murdered at least 8 women between January 1990 and March 1995. So this is different than the Happy Face Killer. He also sends letters to the media. He's sent letters to News Nation. Totally different story there. The Smiley Face Network is composed, according to this former detective you're going to hear from in a second, of hundreds of people. And the former detective says that he's been studying this. The big question that I have now, though, is this Smiley Face Network actually connected to these deaths that we've seen in Houston and these deaths in the lake in Austin, Texas? Kevin Gannon joins me now. He is a retired NYPD detective sergeant, supervised the Homicide Task Force Night Watch. He runs an agency with 2 other.
Hold on. I have to say something about this. Mermaid, it's so funny. I just said to my mother, I was like, I need to go up by myself. The kid gets whatever. Listen, he's my only, and does he get whatever he wants? 9 times out of 10, yeah. But I said to her, I'm like, can you come here and I'm going to do my show. And I need to go out to Whole Foods and get chicken nuggets by myself, because he'll find he wants organic soap. I'm like, what do you need organic soap for? And he's like, for my tub. And I'm like, sir, take a seat. They left Smiley. Fuck. Hold on. Oh my God. Between Caden and Zoe, I don't know, all right, let's just keep going. I keep running my face when we're going to get through this. All right.
Retired detectives. It's called Global Death Investigations, and he's been looking into a lot of these deaths, both in Austin and in Houston. And I want to start with you, Kevin. First of all, just putting aside the Kenneth cutting case for a second. Just there's been so many deaths in Houston. I mean, it's 16 bodies just so far this year found in the bayous. and then way more last year. What do you make of it? Because the mayor is sort of downplaying the whole thing, saying it's just homeless people, drug addiction, that kind of thing. What's your take?
That homeless thing about just homeless people tell their friends in the water. I mean, I think that's nonsensical. But I just think, I mean, I've been to Austin, so I can tell you, I got the list here of the cases that I looked at where both forensically and from that they were murders, and then also from being there, that I have the graffiti that's relative to our organization that we know is involved with these killings that we've followed all over the country since 1997 in New York, all the way across Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the other states in the Midwest where it is. And then it's just starting to go down south. We really didn't have any down south cases until Boston, and then Raleigh Strain in Tennessee.
So sad.
And I just think since Austin was the real hotspot.
You guys, I haven't even listened to this. I try to like blind react. Like I'll listen to some of it and then I want to like generally react with you guys if you haven't seen it. And like they just literally, I didn't know this, and they mentioned Boston and Riley Strain. We were just talking about them. Bukkake bridesmaid, I'm fucking dead. I'm dead, mermaid. Oh my God. All right, let's keep going.
And I understand, listen, they want to project that there's nothing going on. There's not a serial killer, especially with tourism. They want to keep Rainy Street open, alive. It's a big place. I've been there numerous times. I mean, obviously young kids, they got great music down in Austin, great place, great universities. But if you're drinking down there, you got a good chance that my guys are going to grab you. They're going to drug you and drag you. Austin's already proven that you can be drugged. They're saying, there's no possibility. They have a woman they're looking for that drugged already 10 men that robbed them of their wallets and money. So if she wasn't even what we call usually a honeypot, where she's somebody really attractive in a 20 college girl. She was like a middle-aged 35, 40 woman, kind of chunky. And
okay, so I'm just gonna stop it right there. I'm a middle-aged woman, kind of chunky. Am I safe? Am I safe? I'm a middle-aged, chunky woman. Do I need to be scared? Sir, you just offended my whole motherfucking chat, okay? You offended me. I know that. I'm a fucking middle-aged, chunky woman. No, you're fucking... Nikki. Right? Did anyone else gasp? I was like, oh, sir. I am chunky. I have like, dude, I had a 10-pound baby. I got loose skin. Like, what the fuck? Read the room, sir. Read this room. Fuck. All right.
And they put a picture of her out so she could drug these young men and get their wallets. Believe me, my guys who work with almost military precision, and they have multiple players, going from one place to another. Somebody to drug them, somebody to wait outside with them, somebody with a van to whisk them away right away, put them in the van and scoff them up and put them in the water. Believe me, they can do it. So the other thing is Austin has stopped now. So it's kind of like the dead zone because they've already
you guys are killing me.
Hit that space a lot. People are looking into it, whether they tell you or not. I can guarantee you the FBI is looking into it in Austin. And I think they just moved on down the road. I mean, that's really what it is. They just moved on down to Houston. And Houston seems to be like the new hotspot now. And the only problem with the Houston cases is that I don't really have a lot of women, and I know there were some women. And they also have 60-year-old men. And I don't know if those cases, unless you get me the autopsies, like.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So people who have been listening, wait, where am I? Here I am. Okay. So are they saying that there were women killed as well? And then 60-year-old men? Because that doesn't track. Like from what I know about the cases, I know that, yeah, probably a virgin too. Yeah. This middle-aged chunka is not a virgin. So I got something going for me. Candy. It's good to see you, Mama. You guys are fucking killing me. How do we make these cases into something to laugh about? This is why I fucking love you guys. You guys get me. You guys get me. Why does this guy have to slide in there? I think Tar Heel just said he had a turtleneck. I fucking can't. Oh shit. Who was the young man that was found in the drain? The same guy helping with Sebastian Roberts was helping with his dad too. Was found in the drain. Was that Riley? Or he was found in the river. Yeah, I'm safe as fuck. I'm safe. I'm safe. Hey, easy on the small dick guy. Oh my god, I love you guys so much. So this guy is saying that there's women that have been found dead too, because that does not track for the Smiley Face Network. I don't know. It's all college age boys. That's what's been since the 90s. Are they changing it up? Are they now doing like, could it be that like there are lesbians who want to be a lesbian but can't because their family are not for gay people, and so they find these attractive women, or they're jealous of the girls being murdered, because that fucking can happen too. They're jealous. They're probably like never the girl that got the guy, and they are like, well, fuck this girl with her everything going on, and so they murk them out in the I don't know. Like, is it? No, but he was. Oh, okay, yeah. First time to hear women, yeah, and old men. It's usually college age boys. Yeah, knick-knack. You know, it could be that like it could be the same demented thinking on the other side. Could it be like women killing other women out of jealousy or wanting to like skin them and wear them? Because that can happen too. That happens often. All right, let's keep going. You guys are killing me. I know. Nikki, we know crazy bitches. We know. All right. What am I doing? Have I ever used StreamYard before? Hold on.
I have the autopsy of Kenneth Cutting's, autopsy, and I can tell you right now, I went over it. A friend of yours, another reporter, Mike Ruiz, gave it to me from Fox Digital, and he's been helping me on so many cases getting the autopsy. Because it's harder for me as a retired guy. They don't want, a lot of places say we don't need him looking into it, and if they know who we are from the Smiley Face, they definitely don't want any part of us. So he's gave me I looked at it. I had a couple of concerns. One, it was done by a medical examiner, not a forensic pathologist.
Well, hold on. I want to get to Kenneth in a second, and shout out to Mike. By the way, he's great. He's my buddy. He does.
Yeah, no, he talks good things about you, brother.
Yeah, he's great. But I just want to stick with, because we were talking about Houston, but you went to Austin because that's an area that you've investigated. Is it Lady Bird Lake? Is that right?
Lady Bird Lake, yes. Part of the Colorado River. We've been down there. We know those individuals been down there. I'll give you one case.
How many bodies were found in Lady Bird?
In Austin, I probably have about 12.
Oh my god, you guys. There was that many bodies found, and they don't think that something's afoot with a fucking killer? Are we in the Twilight Zone? What is happening? And he's like, at least, okay, so all of them, maybe not, right? Maybe they all aren't. But like, not all of them? He's like, there's 8 that definitely are murders. 4 of them maybe like homeless, ODs or whatever. It definitely happens. God rest your soul. Like, so sad. Afoot. Yeah. Oh my God. You guys are funny. Yeah. Hi, Paula. It's good to see you, Mama. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I do remember Caleb Harris. We were in Justin's, we were all over the other creators with this, and Riley Strain. Yeah, everyone's saying hi, Paula. It's good to see you, honey. So they're saying, okay, this is like saying Rex Humorin, where the fuck his last name is, the Lisk, didn't wrap the girls in burlap when his wife's hair was wrapped up in the fucking burlap. The New York police, I don't know, is NYPD retired in here? Where's my NYPD mod? He knows all about that case. They knew, they had all of the evidence, and they even knew what car Rex drove, because someone who picked up one of the girls from her house for an out call, Rex, in his Avalanche truck. He's 6'7". How can you miss him? He's 6'7", 400 pounds. He's hard to miss. One of the saddest thoughts is an addict ODs. Fucking tragic. Okay, tragic. And there's actually a law. I don't know if it's federal or just state, but like in Massachusetts, if you are anywhere and you're doing drugs and someone else like ODs, you cannot get in trouble by calling 911. So if you are on drugs and you are with somebody and they are ODing, my suggestion would be to have Narcan with you, and 2, call 911. At least try to help. Okay. Oh, Hate, good morning. It's good to see you. Addiction's heartbreaking. Okay. I am an addict. It is so sad. And it is not, like, it might start off as a choice. It becomes not a choice. You literally do it to survive. That literally, quite literally, you do it to survive. And then shit like this happens, and you got fucking assholes who don't call 911 when they know you're ODing. They just leave you. Don't fucking do that. Don't leave it. Have some heart and be a good human and call. Even if you're walking on the street and you see a homeless person that looks dead, call. It cannot hurt to check on them. It is sad. Addiction, and people fucking making fun of people with addictions and shit online, like, fucking miss me with that. Miss me with that. Ugh. All right, let's keep going.
I'll give you the names right now if you want. I can show you them.
Yeah, no, I've read about it. And so you think that those murders in Austin with the bodies found in Lady Bird Lake are all connected?
At least the ones I looked at, those definitely 8 ones where I can tell you, yes, that there's graffiti relative to our organization. And we know we have cells in major cities across the United States. We didn't have them in down south, like I said, in Texas, Tennessee, and Houston before. And like I said, Houston I haven't been to yet. I'm going down there to look at them. But Austin, definitely. I've been there 3 times. Martin Gutierrez, he's got an injury to the back of the head, a concussion, like a contusion. You don't get contusions from a to have some kind of injury like that. So somebody hit him. We got Christopher Bew, who lived.
Hold on. That's a good point. So if all of these are drownings, why do they have gashes? Kim, you can confirm this. Didn't some of the victims that were found have like strap marks on their foreheads or like a boot print or something? That doesn't happen by accident. It's like saying Celeste Rivas walked into the trunk and died. No, someone put her there, right? Yeah, I'm really sorry, Hippie Chick. Hey, it's really good to see you, Mom. I'm glad you made it. I hope. Are you feeling any better? Oh yeah, if you are over on X, come over to YouTube. We have fun over here. It's Unsolved Amy Boston. Yeah, I hope you're feeling better, Hate. A boot mark on the forehead. Okay, so like if a guy is passed out in front of the fucking water and he has a boot mark on his forehead, does that tell you that was an accidental drowning? I don't know. I'm no detective, but I have fucking eyes and some sense, right? Where's Bukaki? Hold on, what do you say? I went to the doctor for a migraine 03 and then this, right? Yep. That's how, honey, our age, that's what happens. That's literally what happens. I was a cheerleader in high school. I was a state cheerleader, and I've always been chunky. I'm now middle-aged and chunky, but I've always been chunky. And I started flipping without my arms, using my wrists because my wrists were going bad. and I started getting painkillers. Fuck, it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that. Because you know what, too, if you're an addict, like I like that. I like that feeling. I want to feel that feeling all the time. And then it becomes a job. And then you can't stop without getting sick. And then what do? What do? You end up having to go to programs and everything. And then once you're in that lifestyle, unless you can really get yourself away from all of that, it's a fucking it's the round robin, right? Keep going. Like, oh yeah, I hope you're feeling better, Hate. Yeah, it was my back. I had 2 back surgeries, and my first back surgery, they had to give me Dilaudid. So you know what I mean? Like I needed it for pain, but like Amy really likes how I feel. Like, and I don't like not out. I'm like fucking I want to fucking clean the house with a toothbrush. Yeah. When I was 23, that's more flexible too. Oh my God. All right, guys, let's keep going. I just like, I don't understand how these people can think that, I don't know. I like this guy though.
Found 3 days later, doesn't remember a thing, was beaten severely. You got the last one, which was Joe Fisher. Joe Fisher went off the 6th Street Bridge. He went off the Street Bridge and had 7 broken vertebrae. Said he wasn't drinking that much when came in from Boston for a wedding, and said somebody had to drug him, and he did. He had benzodiazepine in him, which is a narcotic that will subdue you and everything else. It's not quite the GHB that we've seen in most of our other cases across the country, but it has the same effect. They threw him off. He survived. That bridge is significant for a reason, because Randy Lexfold went off that bridge like 7 or 8 years earlier. But he died. The main thing with them is both of them had a cell phone ping on their phone, which came from, I think, obviously the abductors who had him. Wow. At 02:30 a.m. in the morning. The fact that both of them had a ping, like as if they still were in control of their phone and pinged somebody, they were already under the control of whoever abducted them. But that just tells me that they're showing you these cases are connected. I said, the only thing with you, Jeff, is, I said, we have a large majority of individuals that are engineers. He goes, oh, I'm an engineer. I said, no, really? Because Randy was an engineer. He was a mechanical engineer. The other guy's a chemical engineer. So it's like there's too many similarities between them. We had a kid in Chicago that was taken 30 miles, a young black kid taken 30 miles out of the city under the 251 bridge. We went there. We have the graffiti. But one of the stores that was right there happened to have, under the bridge where the body and his vehicle was found, had GDI. So as far as I'm concerned, they were saying, come and get us. Can you, they're like taunting us. We know who you are. We know your GDI. We know your website. Bing, bing, bing. This is.
Wait a minute. Did he just say that the killers were taunting them because they knew that they knew the name of the group that was, they knew the name of the group that was researching? I was researching? Is that what just? Yeah, Bukaki, we love you. I just want to stop this for a second. I saw your comment, hippie chick, and good for her. 1 year is like a really big deal. The first year is the hardest. The first 3 years is the hardest. Yeah, it's tough. And like I have gotten time together, and then we'll relapse for a couple of months and then get back on the wagon and then relapse. And then like I've done that. I had like 10 years together. I'd relapse. I had like 10 years of my thing. And I've been off drugs for 9 years. But I drank, right? And I'm not a good person when I drink. So I don't drink anymore, right? But it does happen. The people forget that addiction is not like a chemical problem. It's not like a substance problem. It's a problem with the insides, right? Drugs and alcohol do for me what I can't do for myself, right? So, going to meetings and hanging out with people that are sober and doing all those things is going to set you up for success, right? And I wish her all the luck. Tell her to get to meetings. If she's not going to meetings, get involved, and start helping other alcoholics, because once you get some clean time and you see someone else coming into the room that looks like you when you got your 24-hour chip, you're going to want to help them, and you're going to want to show them how you got sober, how I stayed sober today. You show them how you got sober just through that day, and you listen to them, right? So I love all of these comments. Yeah, Bukaki's a really good kid, and just because you're an addict does not make you a bad person. It just makes you sick. That's all. Hold on. God, Nana's fucking yelling at Kung Fu Panda. All right.
For you. So, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between the victims and a lot of things that are specifically directed at the police and us to see if we're paying attention to the clues they're leaving behind.
And is this the Smiley Face Killer Network? Is that what this is?
Yes.
And what is that? Explain that for people.
It's a group of individuals. I'm telling you, they probably have well over 1,000 members nationwide that we can attest to, and they have cells in different cities. They have chairs in different cities, which you have to get a chair. You have to at least kill somebody to get a chair where you're actually like, now you're like the Gambino family. It's the Gambinos, it's the Genoveses, the Luchases, that kind of thing. So this group is intent on killing people. And what we've seen in most of them, we have a ritualistic aspect to it in some of the killings. Some of that happened with the Randy Lexville case. We also have the group dynamic, which is like a gang initiation killing. And then we also have what I believe is the main.
Oh, that's so interesting. A gang initiation? I never saw that one coming. That makes a lot of sense. That's definitely in the wheelhouse of something that why there's like an MO in the same type of person and the same type of killings. And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I like gang initiations, murder. Oh my God. Okay. I just like, do you guys know Cat Williams when he was like, yeah, you have that one white friend where he's like, I've known him for 6 days. He murdered who? Oh yeah. Right. I mean, it totally tracks. Totally tracks. Let's keep going. We've been on for almost 2 hours.
The thing about the group is that there's a real hate element to the individuals that they specifically target.
And so I was reading recently, Austin police, I think, put out a report saying that they don't think these are murders, right?
Well, listen, everybody's going to put that out. I mean,
and Houston's saying the same thing now, by the way.
Of course, the mayor's saying that, but his thing was even more far-fetched, but he's saying all the homeless people just saw their friends in the water when they die. I'm like, if they really want to solve, one of the things they could do with the cases is they should check diatoms in the femur of the individuals for the water, because what it would tell you is exactly where the individual first drowned and where he was put into the water. That may be the initial crime scene area, because the body could float, 5, 10 miles downstream before it's recovered. If you found out where it was, you could go back to the scene and go through it, which we've done in a couple of cases where, oh, guess what? Here we got broken branches leading to where they could have put the individual in the water. You might have a piece of a, shirt or fiber from what the individual was wearing. You might see a cigarette butt. You might see the individual himself throwing up. You might have vomitus there. So they're not really looking at these or treating them at all like they're homicides. They're just treating them as like stupid drunk kids that fell into the water. But I'm telling you, in the Riley Strain case in Tennessee, I predicted we would have a case, and I have the text to prove it to my guys, that we would have a case in Tennessee very shortly. And not long after I did that, Riley Strain went missing. And I don't think that was a coincidence because I have a victim in lacrosse. His name was Luke Holman. He wore number 32. The bar that they decided, not that they chose him specifically, though he may have looked like a basketball player because he's tall. I think Luke Bryan's bar was chosen because Luke Bryan's bar is called Luke 32. And they were trying to say to us, the Luke Holman case and this case are connected because it's still us. Are you looking at the clues? They do that all the time with different cases.
So
I
you think
can go through the whole thing, but it would take forever.
They play those games. They like to make it like a game.
Oh, without a doubt. They want to see if we're paying attention.
Oh my God. So I'm gonna listen, we're not professional here, kids. I'm gonna stop that comment from Bukaki. Like living where we live, like it's just, yeah. I watch some of these like other YouTube creators. And I just think to myself that exact same thing, Bukaki. I'm like, you definitely say that with a hard R. Definitely say that with a hard R. Like, see yourself out. Like, fuck. Oh my God.
And it's we've been watching it, so we've been doing it for a long time. So we pretty much know what's going on when the cases are connected, when they're not. As far as like I said, the Houston cases, I don't know yet, especially with the individuals that are in the 60s. But they know now that they can almost do anything with impunity because the police are not looking at it. So why not throw 60-year-old men in the water? Why not throw females in? So, and a lot of my victims, all of them aren't drowned. Riley Strain did not drown, just so you know. Riley Strain, from the level of decomposition on his body, was dead only within a 24-hour period.
What?
Besides having no water in his lungs. So
wait, right? Okay. All my peoples, yeah, no. Brian Enton's over this guy. But yeah, he was yawning. And Brian is like that glazed over look, like Riley Strain with decomposition was only missing or only dead for 24 hours. They didn't find him for a long time. A long time. I watched that coverage from fucking top to bottom. They did not find him right away. And he didn't have water in his lungs. I didn't know that with decomposition that he was not. Why light won't stay on? What is happening? Put a different color on, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm shocked. As anyone else shocked, I didn't realize that about Riley Strain because I remember back when it happened, no water in the lungs is very telling. That's right, Rob. Absolutely. It is. It's very telling. Poor Riley Strain. I think that they were trying to get ahead of the Smiley Face network with Riley Strain, and they even came out. They even came out and said, like, this is not like a killing from a murderer. Like, you know, he fell and hit his head. Like, I remember all of that coverage. I remember all of it. And they tried to walk back that there's a murderer hurting college age kids. 100% they were. And now this guy is telling me that Riley Strain is one of his victims, that he was only found 24 hours after being killed. So that tells me that this killer could have taken him, done whatever he was going to do to him, and then put him in the Tennessee River dead. Oh yeah, Brian's a Fitzy. Remember the other day I was like, do you know how many Fitzies we have in Massachusetts? Brian Bukaki is a Fitzy. Yeah, since birth. I mean, he was literally born in to the Fitzy name. Yeah, it's Fitzy. Yeah, that case is insane. Me and you watched the whole shit together. Oh my God! All right, let's keep going. I could keep talking.
He didn't drown. Even Dr. Bass from the Body Farm said that, but it wasn't a dry drowning. Dry drownings usually happen and that's like one in spasm. The larynx tightens up. The water's extremely cold. That wasn't happening down in Tennessee at the time, where you almost like suffocate yourself because you're preventing the water from entering the body and the lungs. That wasn't it. Raleigh strain has 1 day of decomposition on him, which means, are you going to tell me he walked around in a drunken or even drugged induced coma for 13 days and then fell into the water? No, it didn't happen.
13
Somebody
days.
had him for a period of 13 days.
So he's trying to say that Riley Strain was gone for 13 days. That tracks. Okay. I believe that it was like that long. And he's saying with the decomposition of it all, that he was only dead for less than 24 hours. What happened to him for 13 days? Tennessee, do better. Tennessee hasn't even found Summer Wells yet. There's a huge trafficking situation down in Tennessee, okay? A huge, right? Huge. What does Bukaki say? I have people that didn't even know my first name. Yeah, Fitzy. I grew up with like 7 Fitzies, and they were all like not even related. Have you ever tried doing cowboy boots on? Oh my God. Like it's like suction. I have cowboy boots. I don't know why, but I do. They look cute with skirts. Fitzy, I am knickknack because of the words are knickknack. Oh, it's funny. Summer Wells is such a sad story. It sure the fuck is. It sure the fuck is. But people are so fucking far left, like all up in her fucking family shit, like fucking befriending Dawn and Candace and the grandmother and the, like, stop it. Get over yourself. You are not important. Stop going after these fucking families. Fucking weirdos. Yeah. Knick-knack, paddywhack. Yeah, so he was gone for 13 days. And, okay. Bukaki is from the Karen Reed case, where one of the Mass State Police guys who was actually, he's the only Mass State Police that told the narrative at the second trial. Turtle Boy nicknamed him Bukaki. His name is Yuri. I can't even fucking remember it because I've called him Bukaki for 4 years. So Bukaki is a sexual term that he was deemed that. And then there was Duckgate with Rich Schiffer, who I love Rich, one of the sweetest men. Okay. He is so cool. The Duck King, he's Bukaki Duckworth. Yes, Buchanan. Thank you. Buchanan. His name is Yuri Buchanan. He is one of the Mass State Police troopers, and Turtle Boy nicknamed him a sexual something or other. And so he's had Bukaki Duckworth for like ever, but it's all like play on all the Karen Reed shit, which is mint. All right, let's keep going.
Was also significant. They put him in specifically in a location that I know, like I was telling Mike one time, what we know about them is locations, the date the individual went missing, the date of recovery. There's different things they use related to dates, times, locations. All that was there with Riley Strain. So it wasn't an accident where he was recovered. He was placed there, right on the bank. Otherwise, he could have floated another 50 miles downstream. He didn't, and he didn't just happen to stop there. They stopped there for a reason. They were sending us the message that this is us again.
So, I mean, and I know the Riley Strain case well. I've interviewed his parents. It's just such a tragic case.
Oh, without a doubt.
Why do you think? I mean, even in Nashville too, the police were quick to say that wasn't criminal. I mean,
look at the money they would lose if they had a serial killer in these towns, especially like Austin, more in Nashville. I mean, you got nothing but bars and music and everything. They can't have that. It'd be like saying you had that in New York in Times Square. The only difference is we got 38,000 police officers. We can patrol it and watch where it gets out of ball. No one has the manpower. to really protect the community, especially as big as, with all those bars in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean,
With the Smiley Face Killer network, you mentioned, I think you said like close to 1,000 people, you think.
there's probably over 1,000. I can tell you 1,000 because that's part of our whole thing. We have definitely at least how many members, and it's probably well over 1,200 members.
Have you ever talked to anybody on the inside?
I don't want to get into what I know and where I know it from, but I'm telling you, our information is good.
So wait, is he saying that there are 1,000 killers in the Smiley Face network? Is that what he's saying? How do you even know that? Or is there 1,000? Did he say there's 1,000 killers or 1,000 bodies? I'm as lost as Brian Enton. I don't know about you guys. I have a different Brian Enton thing of a family of one of the boys. So we're gonna go over that after.
How do they exist under the radar just in today's world of technology? I mean, it just seems like that would be difficult to do, that many people spread out all over the country.
Well, yeah, I tell you, I had one case in Minnesota. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I mean, his friends were with him. There was like a bar dance area. He was over at the bar. They were out dancing with some females, whatever. They came back to look for their friend. They're like, yo, where's Tommy? And then and they said, no, and they checked the bathroom real quick. And they looked, and two guys are walking, not carrying him, not, lifting him, and walking freely out to a van. They got the van door open, ready to put him. They run out. They get into fisticuffs with them. They push him out. They drive away with the van door open and go out. They didn't get a plate number. They called me the next day, this a few years ago. They said, I think one of our friends was going to be one of your victims. And I said, what happened? They told me the story. I said, well, it sounds like it. I said, what happened to your friend? I said, did he go home and sleep for the next 12 hours? He said, yeah, he did. I said, he most likely was drunk. Does he remember anything? He said, no. So he was actually walking and talking and with these individuals, not even aware of what was going on. So I said, he probably has GHB in him, because in a lot of cases we have GHB, which is gamma hydroxybutyrate, which is a date rape drug that is used to facilitate mostly rapes.
Right.
But in order to taste, could bartenders be involved? I mean, in lacrosse, we looked at it. A lot of kids went missing in these brothers bars all across the country, from Columbus, Ohio to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Minnesota. So there was a whole bunch of places, and even down south recently. And they opened some bars a few years ago. So they could be involved. But the main thing was, you could have it in a Visine bottle and just put a quick squirt if you were behind somebody. The drink could be on the bar. He could be watching it. There was a video that they showed one time that we found, where this guy was walking around and people were talking. You and I talking? We're holding our drinks. And the guy is over the person's shoulder, squirting something and waving at the camera. And the other person, you looking at me, didn't even say, hey, what are you doing at my friend's drink? I mean, because people I guess they're drinking, they're oblivious, didn't even notice it. So that isn't our guys, but that goes to show you how easily it could do to somebody.
Have you ever spoken with the police in Austin or any of these places?
Not yet, no.
Do you?
I don't think a lot of guys want to talk to. They don't want other people talking about their cases. Sometimes when we did go to the police in different cities, the last thing they want to do is hear some New York guys tell them about their cases. Number one. Number two is they definitely don't want to hear from a bunch of retired guys going, "What the hell are these guys doing? Go home, get on your porch and get in your rocking chair."
So let's stop it here for fair use. I have so many questions. This is leaving me with more questions than answers, right? So I can understand why when these guys go to different cities and they're like, fucking sit down. I got this. A lot of police, they don't want to stir up fucking jazz, right? But there should be, if this is a legit thing, don't you think the FBI is involved? Right? If the FBI got intertwined in the Karen Reed situation, right? And Sandra Birchmore, poor Sandra Birchmore. don't you think if there's 1,000 bodies or 1,000 killers in this network that the FBI would have the case? I don't know. That's just me. Or like, hate, I love you. Oh, hold on one second. So I'm remembering off subject, but Luton had an awesome light display at the racetrack. You can drive through tunnel. Oh, how exciting. Listen, I want all of these. I want all the Christmas displays. Fucking send me all of them. Oh, Rosie made it. Hey, Rosie, it's good to see you, honey. I just like, it just seems really sloppy, right? And if they are saying that all of these murders, Riley Strain, right? Yeah, let's do it. You come with me? I just don't know why, if there are so many clues to these murders being under the Smiley Face Killer network, right? Why isn't there more being done, especially with all those bodies showing up in the bayou? Like, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. What fucking world are we living in? Hi, Jesse. It's good to see you. Good to see you, Mama. Who sleeps on? Oh, the baby. Rosie has a really cute dog. He just got a new puppy and she's absolutely beautiful. She kind of looks like a pit. She does. I love my pits. I had a red-nosed pit for a long time. Yeah, especially if there's a network. That would be like prime FBI bullshit. You know, it's been said that the killers are law enforcement. So are they covering for each other? Because we've all seen that happen. Always good to see you. Sorry, I'm like catching up. Oh yeah, girl, you fucking catch up and do what you gotta do. Amy, you need green names. I know. I just like Fitzy. Me and you talked about this, and I told you why I don't do it. It's just like maybe one day. Maybe one day. You know. Yeah, it's a lot, you know. Especially with fucking YouTube creators coming at me saying I'm trying to like exploit people and shit. Like, I fucking miss me with that. Miss me with all of that. Okay, I'm not fucking exploiting fucking anybody or a wrench. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Leave us alone. You know, but I'm telling you, this is happening and it's for real.
And so you brought up Chicago. You know, there's been a lot of bodies also discovered in the Chicago River. You think that's also connected?
Oh, yeah, I've investigated that before, and I've been out there just recently with the new cases from in Naki Biscarin, Christoph Schubert, all the cases. Yes, all of them. And we found some graffiti in the alleys and stuff behind the bars in Chicago relative to our groups. So yes, the Smiley Face and even as relative to this group, you know, like if it was the Hells Angels or the Crips or the, you know, something, the Latin Kings, it would be like it's a group, you know, moniker, you know what I mean?
So how do they kill these people? And then there's like no sign of homicide. Is it because they've been in the water? Like, how do all these autopsies keep coming up undetermined?
Well, because drowning is an exclusionary diagnosis when you have nothing else and the body's in water, so they just like that's the catch-all. So I understand that, but there are signs to tell if somebody drowned or not, because most of the lungs, like we'll talk about Kenneth's case later, he's got small lungs, but most of them are like, if they're really small, maybe 250. His was like about 125. They were the smallest I've ever seen, but he is a small guy. They usually be like from 250 to 400 grams. And so that would mean anywhere from like 500 to 800 grams. When you see over 1,000, you see 1,200 grams of water, then pretty sure they're drowning. The cases that don't have water in their lungs and aren't drowned, I think a way to do that would be something that happened during 9/11. And I think it was more the firemen than the cops that were a terminal, and like the cops would maybe shoot themselves. The firemen had a thing where they were putting bag over their head, and basically just like in those movies where like, oh, we got to hurry up and open the vault because everybody's going to die, lack of oxygen. You do suck the oxygen out of the bag, and you could just go to sleep very easily. And carbon dioxide is a lot harder to find than or diagnose than carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna stop this for what my girl mermaid just said. Yeah, girl, all of those people, all of them. Okay, they're fucking coming, being like, she's exploiting. She's doing. I can see you. I've known all about you for years, so you can take all the motherfucking seats, exploiting fucking exploiters. So I fucking miss me with that shit. And listen, no one fucks with my faves. Everybody in this chat, you guys are my faves. No one fucks with my faves. I will light people up if I have to. Fucking say less.
Oxide has not only the element of the fumes and everything, but you also have the blood turns like a light pink. So, and that doesn't happen in carbon dioxide. So I don't know if that's what they're doing to them, but the fact that they're holding for periods of time, like Riley strain, from what we know, that it's kind of like one of these mental torture things. Like, how do you feel about dying today? And where you're like, come on, please let me go. So we've seen some signs of, physical torture. We think that we know there's mental torture. We haven't seen any.
How do you know about the mental torture?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask this.
Again, like this is something we've worked on for a long time. So, we pretty much have knowledge that there's mental torture going on.
Just through sources and people that you've spoken to.
Wait, can someone, Kimmy, where are you? How do they know that there's mental? Yeah. Hate is the communications department, my personal security guard, and HR. Kim, dog mom, is my producer. Yeah, don't fuck with my girls, best believe. Like I'll make you cry with just my words. Fuck around, like pew 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 pew. Yeah, you're here, Kim. How do they know about mental torture? How do you know about mental? I have, like, how are you gonna say that and then not follow up with a fucking answer? Yeah, fuck around and find out. Hate knows. I've had personal conversations with Hate. She knows all about my fucking sassiness. Yeah, Grayson. Yeah, Kim is my Grayson. She doesn't want to skin me and wear me though, so I'm in the clear. Sorry, Laura Matthias. Yeah, Bukaki's my husband. Fitzy is my hub. I want to know how they know about mental torture. Like, if you're finding these bodies like way after that they're dead, how do you know that there's mental torture? Are they being stalked? I have questions. Are they being stalked? Is that how you know that there's mental torture? Tariel. Yeah, Tariel. Yeah, Tariel's my cousin, my Alabama Slammer sister. Jen Fox is the fucking, she's the welcome committee. Yeah, if they're unalived, how does he know that? Like, are they being stalked? I need more details. I need to know how he knows that there was mental torture. Mental torture is worse than fucking being hit. I'd rather be hit. Fucking hit me. He was just talking about fucking throwing hands. I'd rather be hit. I'd rather be fucking hits. All right. Let's keep going. This is almost over, I think, and we have another one.
Sources that we've spoken to.
It's scary to hear that.
Yeah, well, it's scarier that they're killing these kids, for no good reason, and that you got a major group of psychopaths out in the country that are doing it. And these cases aren't just related to here. I mean, they're going on. They're in England. That man.
Oh, Jay Warren
is the same thing going on.
Jay Warren, did you hear that? Jay, maybe there is some creed to what you were just saying about Manchester, UK, and they were calling it something else. I forget. I don't know if he's in the chat still, but maybe this is just, yeah. Fucking Fitzy's my Dr. Babe. He's my Dr. Babe. Oh my God, Rosie, only you. Put your hands on me, Redneck Fury. Can I just tell you guys, Tar Heel's accent and just the way she like is everything about her, I just want to like bottle up. Like she's one of the best people I know, and her fucking accent is darling. Okay. Like I said earlier, Jack the Ripper crossed the pond. Why can't they? That's very true. That's very true. I think you saw when Jay was in here earlier, he was talking about how in Manchester, UK, that there is a similar type of killing, and they just named it something different, but it all could be under the same network umbrella, right? Fucking scary shit.
Germany, and we get called Ireland. We get calls from cases that we can't tell. I tell them, send me what you have, and I'll look at it from all the way as far as Australia. So, I mean, have I been out there to say there's any groups out there? But I don't know. But I'm just telling you what appears to be that it's bigger than just the United States.
And so back to Kenneth Cutting Jr., the young man in Houston who, I interviewed his dad and his cousin who is very close to. They don't know what happened to him. I mean, they don't believe that it's just an accident that he would just fall into the.
No, I don't think so either.
You reviewed the autopsy report. What do you
well, from what I have right here, I mean, the things that, I mean, another thing that bothers me that I don't think he's really related to us is that he went in the water like June 29th or something. Most of our cases are during, which even more reason why it should be a homicide is that they should be looking at it. Kids don't go down to the water and even jump in the water or even fall in the water being drunk during the wintertime. These cases don't happen in the summertime because people congregate by bodies of water and somebody would see something going on.
So interesting. He went in and he's saying that these don't happen in good weather because people frequent these areas. I know I did crew in high school for like one season, and we were on the Charles River. And I'll tell you what, during the spring and summer, that place is fucking packed. I mean, I used to smoke weed, you know what I mean? Back in my day, and it would be, I remember like back when like the pot was illegal and we had to like run from the cops, right? They just wanted to smoke it. But we would have to be down there and there'd be tons of people and be like, why are they fucking still down here? I love that. Listen, if you're a woman, don't take fucking anyone's shit. Okay. Do not take anyone's shit. Don't. Fuck out my face with that. If you want to be a disrespectful piece of shit, you can fucking find somewhere else to be. Fucking see ya. Plus college. Yeah. Oh, true. Oh my goodness. Good call. I never even thought of that part either. So it's happening from like during the school season. Fucking, oh my God. Like, what is happening in this world? This world is a scary fucking place.
The 30th and was recovered on the 2nd. They did the autopsy. So it was warm. His body was already, starting to decay. He had, skin slippage, which starts, pretty soon after death, especially if it's warm like that. His organs internally were starting to break down. But the main thing, he had larvae on him. But what really, the two things that I got was he had in his lungs, he had this greenish brown fluid. And I don't know if that came from the bayou, but that's why if they check the fluid, they find out where it is. Like even when with our cases are in the water, that are drowns where they have water in the lungs, test the water. Is that tap water from an apartment and it's water in the water? Or is that actually the water from the body that they're recovered from? Nobody's even tested that because you would get the chemicals from tap water that you wouldn't get from the rivers and stuff, because rivers are going to have insects and algae and all the other stuff. So not even that. The other thing was that
I wouldn't fucking dip my toe in the Charles River. It's why I had to stop doing crew, because the fucking nasty ass water was touching me, and fucking see yourself out.
he
with
had
that.
food particles in his throat. So the only thing I posed, and Mike asked me, "What do you think?" I said, "The only thing I think of is the." He said, "I saw the food in the throat." I said, "Well, so you started picking it up quick already." I would ask. I said, "I think we should have a forensic pathologist look at it." He actually did, and a female pathologist said she doesn't know what happened to him. So it's not that the MD here didn't do a good job. She didn't know. She answered my two questions. I said, "What about the fluid?" She wasn't sure. I asked about the food particles. Could he have
I love you,
been
Rob.
eating and then like choked, almost suffocated, where the gag reflex wouldn't expel the food from him, and then he basically chokes to death, which could be a sign, which is different than a strangulation or something where you'd have petechia in the eyes and other factors, you know. So I'm trying to think, like, so what happened? And she said, well, since he was obviously laying horizontal, which makes sense, and the muscles relaxed, the food may have come back up, because then it would have an open pathway that it could go back and forth. I said, that could be feasible. I mean, because I haven't seen too many cases of that. I haven't seen, I've had kids that were recovered with food in their stomach. And what we did was we found out that the last place he was eating was.
I don't know. I had that problem when I was pregnant. Caden was sitting on all of my organs, and everything would just come back up. I don't know. And so there could be some truth to that. I don't know. They weren't fucking 10 months pregnant with a 12-pound baby. But this is fucking interesting.
A place with beef and no chicken. And then we found them with chicken in his stomach, which told me we knew he was held for a period of time. They were feeding them. They had to feed these guys, occasionally over the 5 or 10 day period that they held them. So I was still bothered by it going up to the neck, but she's saying that, it could. I mean, who am I to say? I'm not a forensic pathologist, but I haven't seen it in other cases where there was food in the stomach.
Are you surprised police didn't do more to investigate? Like, even talking to his family, a lot of the stuff that they were finding in video, it was like, oh, they just sort of stopped the investigation.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not, because their attitude is we got to close this as soon as possible. And this isn't a normal.
This is almost over.
Like wound to the back or to the head. Nobody has a knife in them or anything where you say, okay, this is clearly homicide. Let's find it. But the bad news is they're not even looking for the video evidence. I mean, let's look at the video evidence. First thing we do when we come to a homicide scene is, okay, who's got cameras, who's got evidence? Let's see. Can we get the victim on? Is there somebody following? Is somebody this? I mean, is there a vehicle? Does he get into a vehicle? What is it? Nothing. Trunk. The phone. What happened with the phone? I mean, he's trying to call, from the bouncer's phone that you put in your report, which was excellent. I mean, aren't they going to look into that? Or are they just going to, hey, here's your son. Sorry, we found him. He was missing, but now he's found. But, what happened to him in that period of time?
They don't care.
I don't know. I mean, I see there's a guy right now, some sergeant from NYPD. He's like a professor now at Lehigh University, Penn State or something. And he said, they should treat them like a homicide and work backwards. And I've been saying that for the last 20 years. First, the case is a homicide.
Kind of seems like they do the
They
opposite.
do the opposite.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's an accident, and that's it. You can bring me evidence, show me it's a homicide, I'll take a look. By that time, that evidence is gone. It's destroyed. It's gone. It's been trampled upon. It's stupid.
Yeah. I appreciate you for coming on.
No, thank you so much.
Brian Enton is like, sir, please stop talking. I find, like, if I was watching him like separately on a doc, like he's a wealth of knowledge, clearly. But man, it's just really sad that like law enforcement isn't really about like solving cases. They just want them closed, right? And then you have all these families with so many questions about like, well, how come he didn't have decomposition. Brian Enton was like, sir. He needed, maybe Brian Enton can reach out to Laura Mathias and see where she gets Botox, because his brows were like this the whole time. I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna go into the the smiley face. This is the parents of one of the boys that was found, and they are not taking the fucking law enforcement's word for anything. Okay, they are not taking it whatsoever. So let's see. All right. I do not do I do not have monetization on the on here yet. I'm still kind of like going back and forth with it. I find it to be pretty gross when creators come on here and make a bunch of exploitative money and get in with families and all of this stuff. So I have like a moral issue inside of like, do I monetize my channel or don't I? Do I make money off of it or don't I? I do have a Venmo. There's up in the corner, it's at amy-boston.617 or -617. If you guys do want to support me with the channel, that would be great. It's not expected. I do this because I love it and I love hanging out with you guys. I'm having a hard time with that because I've never agreed with it. And I see what money does to people on the YouTubes, and it's really gross. I've seen it with Karen Reed, even, right? So I just, we'll see. Maybe one of these days I will turn it on. But if you guys do want to support, you can Venmo me at amy-boston-617 to support me and the boy. That would be great, but I don't expect it, and I just like hanging out. I actually just subscribed to you, and I subscribed to Jay Warren. He is from the UK. He has a great channel. And Hey Rob, put your link in the chat, babe. Hey Rob covers Laura Owens and all this. He's over in Arizona. He has great content as well. I lurk a lot, but I watch all of his coverage. He's wonderful. So, yeah. And if you're over on X, come over to YouTube. We are at Unsolved Amy Boston, and we have a good time over here. Oh, making. Yeah, I mean, I do pay for like StreamYard, and I do have time and stuff. I just I can't say that people are fucking money grubbing hoes and then turn around and act like they do. Because there's a lot of money grubbing hoes up in this bitch. Seen it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go over and yeah. I just need gas money to get to all of my fucking all of my Christmas extravaganzas. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you guys want to support me, I am at Venmo at amy-boston-617. All right. So this one is serial killer concerns after bodies are found in the Houston Bayou. Kenneth Cuddings family demands answers. So this is Brian Enton from the other day. If you guys are not subscribed to Brian Enton, what are you even doing with your true crime life? He does great interviews. And this is a family of a boy from Houston, Kenneth Cuddings family. They're demanding answers, and I do not blame them. So let's get into this. Okay.
So much for checking out my show. Really, really appreciate it. Please click to subscribe. In this episode, I'm digging into these mysterious deaths in Houston, Texas. The bodies that have been discovered in the Houston bayous, those river systems and waterways that are running in and around Houston. One after another, 16 bodies found so far this year. So far, the
16
city seems like, according to many, they're downplaying it. It's saying like, oh, nothing to see here. You know, it's homeless people a lot of the time, drug abuse, that kind of thing. But I talked to the family of one of the men who was discovered actually last year, a young man named Kenneth Cutting Jr. And his family is very suspicious of what is going on. Not happy with the way it was handled by police. They don't believe that there was a thorough investigation. They don't believe that this is just some kind of accident. Don't understand how Kenneth just ended up in the bayou. It makes no sense to them. No drugs in his system. His body was not in good condition when it was found. So I'm going to dig into that and what's going on in Houston in this episode of Brian Anthony Investigates. Hey guys, so there are a lot of questions about these bodies that are being discovered in Houston's bayous. So far, just this year, 16 bodies have been discovered in these bayous, which are these waterways in and around Houston. And what's interesting is the city, so the mayor, city leadership, the police have really made an effort to downplay what is going on. It seems like, according to some of the people who I've been talking to in Houston, saying that there's nothing criminal going on.
Mermaid, I have that same question. 16 bodies and it's not national news and no one's looking for a fucking serial killer? Like, you do not have to be fucking Columbo to see. I can see it from here. Fitzy, you just want me to have a babysitter so you can take me out. I see your angle. I see it. Oh God. All right.
On that there's no serial killer, because there's been a lot of rumblings like, could this be a serial killer? How are so many people being found dead? That they're saying there's not a serial killer, and they're really attributing a lot of this to homelessness and also to drug abuse. But some of the victims' families feel that there really is something else going on here.
Yeah, just this year,
and that
Mermaid.
the city is not properly investigating all of these deaths. One example is Kenneth Cutting Jr. I spoke at length
How sad.
with Kenneth's dad and also with his cousin, and his cousin is really more like a sister to him. They lived together for a long time. And I'm going to play that interview for you in just a second. It's really, really eye-opening. It's emotional. It's sad what this family's going through, but it's interesting when they explain everything.
So I lied. I only know it from the 90s because, like, your girl was born in 1985. But he's saying that the serial killer of the Smiley Face Killer had been around since the late 60s. And no one has caught them yet? Nobody? Nobody. Nobody's looked into why all these boys are being murked with the nefarious shit going on around it. I just fucking, oh my God. Oh shit. Hold on. I'm new here.
About his death and how difficult it's been for them to find answers. Kenneth was out in downtown Houston. This was back in June of 2024. He's seen on surveillance video, and I've seen the surveillance video myself. He's seen leaving a bar. His family says that he had an argument with one of the men that his family says he was in a relationship with. And when I say one of the men, it's because they say that he was in a gay relationship in what they called a throuple with actually two older men who are quite older than Kenneth. I could tell his dad was uncomfortable talking about this part of it, but really wanted to get the truth out there about the full situation because he wants police to investigate. And I think that Kenneth's family just wants to be really transparent about everything that happened and everything that was going on in his life.
So this right here is the boy and his parents. and it's all very sad. And I'm glad the family is going to Brian Enton to be like, no, like you need to investigate this. This was not a fucking accident. Listen, the only way you are going to get what you want is not be a mousy person. You got to stand up and be like, no, I'm not accepting this. I need you to look into it further. Go to the media. Go to all these. You need to be your own advocate. You are your child's advocate. And if they're not doing it, who is? Not law enforcement since the fucking 60s. My God. Yo, if this was Kay, I would be at that fucking police station every day. I would be the squeaky wheel that would never go away. I'd be calling, I'd be showing up, I'd be doing all the things. They look like a great family. You're right, Rob. They look like a fucking great family. Look at them. How fucking sad. That's someone's baby, and you're expecting them not, you know what I mean? Like, fuck out of here. Oh,
Again, mainly because they want answers and they want the case to be properly investigated. Now, police have made very, very clear that they do not suspect foul play, and that that there's no person of interest, there's no suspects in this case. They don't suspect foul play, but again, the family wants there to be more of an investigation. Kenneth's family says the boyfriends claimed that Kenneth, quote, went crazy and demanded to get out of the car on the highway when he initially went missing. Kenneth was found more than a mile downstream, and his family tells me that his body was not recognizable immediately. There was an autopsy done. There were tests done, obviously, and his death was ultimately ruled
So, Mermaid, generally the ones that are getting marked by the Smiley Face Network are of college aged, attractive, athletically built boys. Okay. And then in the previous segment of Brian Enton that we went over, they were talking about how down in Houston that there are like 60-year-old men and women victims. So that doesn't track for the MO, but like if someone else has joined this network and they're going after like, men that hurt them, maybe the 6-year-old men look like they're abusers. Maybe the women that are being killed remind these fucking killers of their abusive mother. Who knows? Like, people's psychology fascinates me, and you never know why. So what happened down in Houston doesn't track for the MO of the Smiley Face Killer, because the Smiley Face Killers normally go after attractive, athletic, college-age boys alone. But there have been victims reported that are older men and women, which is not normal. That's not normal for the MO of these particular killers. Most victims are upper class. You're right. They're not like, they're not street kids. They're not, using the pokers under a bridge somewhere. They're not doing that. They're in college, often very good colleges with families with money. And there is an MO to most of the victims of this network. But they're saying that the most recent slew of victims, there was different types of victims, such as older men in their 60s or women. You never know, right? Ashley Banfield. Yeah. Yeah. So this young boy fits the MO of these murderers that we know of, right? A serial killer keeps the victims the same. A group not smart. Right. Exactly. Now I have to go down the road. Yeah, honey. I mean, it's worth it. There's so much material. I have, like I said, I have live from this. We went over like what the Smiley Face Killer was, and we kind of like speculated as to, the one by the Boston Garden, that one was by the police barracks. Yeah. Mermaid popped wine. She's gonna need wine. Oh, hey, baby. I was talking about Lisk earlier, and I was like, "Where's my retired NYPD detective?" Because I needed all the information on Rex, but you were driving. It's all good. A few years back, there was a Harvard or BU student. Yes, absolutely, there was, honey. Maria, you're gonna need wine, but yeah. Amy, did you ever listen to the old podcast from the Offerman report? I did not. Can you send it to me? That was William Hurley. You're right. Yeah, Rosie, can you send it to me? I'll watch it after we're done here. When I'm shopping by myself without my 5-year-old asking for organic bath salts. Okay. All right.
Determined. Some of these other deaths also that have happened inside the bayous, the bodies that have been found have also been ruled undetermined because honestly, after a body, it's hot there in the summer, and after a body's in the water for that long, like Kenneth's family said, it can become unrecognizable. So his death was ruled undetermined officially by the medical examiner. They say that there were no external injuries and no drugs in his system, and the toxicology reports came back clean. So how did he end up in the bayou? That's what his family wants to know. Again, officially from police, this is not a criminal matter. No persons of interest. They're not looking at anyone criminally. No suspects. But his family has questions. How did he end up in the river? Is there a serial killer? That's a question that his cousin.
Oh my God, Bukaki. As soon as I said it, I was like, well, that was a weird, he does not want bath salts. I mean, he's my child. So like, you know what I mean? But the adult grape juice, I like it. Hi, Candy. All right, let's keep going.
Is asking, among other people, when they look at all of the other deaths where people have ended up in these bayous. Again, 16 bodies have turned up just this past year.
16 is a lot.
I want to play for you now my conversation with Kenneth's dad, Kenneth Sr. He has the same name as his son, and also his cousin, Lauren Freeman. Well, thank you guys both again for talking with me. I'm so sorry for everything you've been through. Ken Sr., I wanted to just ask you about your son. Did he go by Ken Jr.?
No, he just went by Kenneth.
By Kenneth. Okay. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Kenneth.
The
Well,
kid's,
I mean,
it's hysterical.
I had him when I was 45 years old, and his mom kind of left, and me, my sister, and my dad lived together raising him as he grew up. Then my sister passed away, and then it was just me and my dad. He had some troubles at school because of his sexual preference, and he did not like being bullied. And he was he was a small kid. He was about 5'4" and weighed when he died, he was about 5'4" and weighed about 115 pounds. But he'd get in trouble.
It's like fucking pick on someone your own size. The kid was like a paperweight. Why are they going after him? Look at him. I fucking hate bullies. And like I said on my last live, I will out mean girl anyone. You don't want to come over here with that motherfucking sass. You are not going to bully me or anyone that I motherfucking love. Nope. No, that ain't going to happen. I'll make you cry without batting an eye.
For fighting because he didn't like being picked on.
And you were close with him. I mean, Lauren, you guys are cousins, obviously, but it sounds like you were close.
She lived in the house when my son was growing up too, before she went to college. So yeah.
Yeah, tell me, Lauren.
Yeah.
Tell me about your relationship, Lauren.
So he was born when I was in high school. So I was, in the picture helping raise him during the time before I went to college. My relationship with him was more of like a brother-sister type relationship. My family is an Italian family. We're very close-knit. It doesn't get more close than having an Italian family that's from New York. So we all lived in the same household. There was 3 generations under one roof.
Unless you're Irish from Boston. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just saying.
And everybody chipped in. Everybody helped everybody out. Everybody helped raise him. I went away to college, and obviously I was not absent, but, away during that time because I was living my life. But when I moved back home, there was a period of time where my uncle and him moved back in with me, and stayed with me for a while. And that was during, his early 20s, into when he was about.
Can we just have a round of applause for this man? He raised him on his own without the mom around. And he loved his son, no matter who he wanted to sleep with, how he talked, whatever. He loved his son, and he raised him on his own. That's a good man. And it's breaking my heart to look at him and see how sad he is. That's a good man. This man's a good man.
21, and then they moved out. They got their own place, and then my cousin met these gentlemen. But he was very fun. He was a fun kid. He was loving. You meet some people that love everybody and they're just kind-hearted. That's how my cousin was. He wanted to do right by everybody that he came in contact with. And just a very kind soul all the way around.
And so what happened, Lauren? You mentioned these guys that he was hanging out with. Like, who are they? Kind of tell me a little bit about Kenneth's life and what was sort of leading up to.
So someone from our chat just texted me, and he wrote, "The Boston student one was weird to me. The guy leaves a Boston Bruins game, tells his girlfriend to stay at the game, ? I don't think many investigators have talked about people's sexuality. It's too much to put in chat." No, I too, like, not for nothing. These days there's Grindr and Tinder and all of the things, right? So you don't know if these people are going on social media to dupe these people into like a sexual encounter, right? Because that happens. Someone was just saying in the chat earlier how if they get into in an Uber, you're going to record because you don't want to be taken, right? We don't know. We do not know. I wish I wasn't driving because manpower cases missing when a detective catches 44 cases a month. So you have to prioritize. Yeah, I agree. The girlfriend wasn't at the game. She was in class. He wanted her to leave early, had bad vibes. He guided her to where he was. Then he was just fine. Weird. Oh, Mary Bagwell. Hi, Mama. It's good to see you. I'm glad you made it. The LawTube's most hated mod is a retired NYPD detective. Very good man. Right.
To all of this happening.
Yep. So my cousin lived with my uncle, Ken, and he was working a full-time job. My uncle was working his full-time job, and Kenneth met these two gentlemen, and they were actually in a polyamorous relationship. Probably 6 months before he died is when they met him. And, we thought that him meeting these two gentlemen, they were a little bit older than him. Well,
he told me he told me they were a little bit older, but when I found out how old they were, I was shocked.
Yeah, so they were in their early 30s, and
36 and 37, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So when he met them, he told us that they were a little bit older, and we thought, hey, they're good influence because they were helping him get banking. They were helping him do health insurance. The things that young adults have to do to become an adult, So, oh, wow, this is great. We met him a couple times, thought that they were good influences, and we just thought that it was a good situation for him, other than the non-traditional lifestyle, right, of being in the LGBTQ community and being in a throuple,
So they're saying that this boy was in a throuple. He was in a polyamorous relationship. I don't judge. I don't kink shame. Like however, I don't give a flying fuck who you have in your bed. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. I love my gays. Okay. Love my gays. And I don't care if you have multiple boyfriends, multiple girlfriends, not my shit. But they're saying that this boy had a throuple with two much older men that were helping him. They thought that it was good for him. Does it seem like grooming? It seems groomy. What does it say? My daughter's friend, we to Houston, her 23rd birthday, got an Uber and went, oh, no. Oh my God, stop it. Stop. That's so sad. That's so sad. Wow. This sounds a lot like grooming. And like you don't even know you're being groomed. Yeah, see makings. Yeah, you know. Kim, I have her on social media. I can connect you guys. She's awesome. Yeah, it seems like grooming. Oh God. It just like, it's so scary. You don't know you're being groomed. People love bomb you. And they're like, oh my God, I love you. And I'm going to help you. And then the abuse starts and all of the things. Right. So this is, even if it's not the Smiley Face Killers, like I hope they're found and like this boy gets justice regardless. Right. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah. And
this one's
so
shorter.
What led up to when he first went missing?
Okay, what happened was obviously that Friday they went, him and his, I call them roommates, because he lived with them. They went to one of my son's co-workers' baby shower. And then after that, they went to Pete's dueling piano bar.
I cannot.
And, I didn't know that until I woke up Saturday morning at 10 o'clock and looked at my phone and seen a text from one of his roommates that the boy got drunk, started going berserk, and got out on the freeway at I-10 and what's the name of the road, Lauren?
Waco.
Yeah.
Waco, I-10 in Waco. And I started calling. And the phone would ring about 8 times, go to voicemail. Called again. I called 4 times. It rang 8 times and went to voicemail. And then the next time I called, it went straight to voicemail, like they shut off their phone. So me and his mother, because we're divorced, but she happened to be staying here for a little while. I told her, get in the truck. We're going.
I mean, I know he's from Texas, but did anyone pick up a Boston accent when he said divorced? I did.
To their house. So we went in the house and knocked on the door. And first thing I said is, where's my son? And they said, well, he drank too much and we told him and he got mad and he went crazy. And then we finally got him in the car and he started fighting us in the car. So we pulled over and he got out and ran. And he ran off. And I said, why didn't you call me?
I call bullshit.
And that's when they told me, oh, we tried to get in touch with you. And I said, a text message at 2 o'clock in the morning is not going to wake me up. A telephone call would. And he said, and he kept saying, we tried to get in touch with you. And I got so mad I had to walk out of the house because something wasn't right. Because when I even asked him, when you leave Pete's Piano Bar from downtown and you live in Katy or the Bear Creek area, which is right next to Katy, you do not go down 10 heading east to hit Waco. And that's when he said, "Oh, we got lost."
Okay.
So I had to walk out.
So I'm gonna stop right here for fair use. Okay. So I remember this doesn't sound very Smiley Face Killer. This sounds like predators preying on a little boy. Oh, they're from New York? I thought they were from down south, so I guess that tracks then. I see grooming. I see men that were taking advantage of a. Bye, Jen. Taking advantage of a little boy, and I mean, we're gonna listen to the rest of it, and then I gotta go. But this looks like a really nasty unaliving, but it does not seem like the Smiley Face Killers. Just my opinion.
Out of the house because I really wanted to grab him, to tell you the truth, and I knew I shouldn't do that. So I walked out of his house. Plus, they had all his belongings packed up in the hallway. When I asked them, I said, "What's all this stuff in the hallway?" And they said, "That's his stuff." So I was thinking, he left my son downtown at about 2 o'clock in the morning in the worst neighborhood Houston has. And you were worried about packing his stuff up,
Right. Right.
Things just weren't right.
Well, and it wasn't like, hey, I took my time, I packed stuff up. We're talking like taking stuff and throwing it in trash bags.
Yes, it was a trash bag.
Yeah, no, I listen, this is just my opinion, but I think that these guys unalived this poor boy after being fucking nasty predators. And they are just like looking for answers. And I hope whoever did this to him, I don't think it was a Smiley Face Killer. My opinion. Wicked sketchy. Wicked fucking sketchy, Kimmy. Wicked sketchy. Country singer owns a bar. Oh, that was Riley Strain. Yeah. Yeah. Keith, was it Keith Urban who owned that bar that Riley Strain got kicked out of?
How long was he living with them?
Probably
6 months.
Yeah.
About 5 months.
Okay. And so then what happens?
Then I leave straight from there, and I go downtown over there near Waco. I go by Peace Piano Bar, but it's closed, and we're asking people, showing pictures of them and everything else. So when we didn't find anything, I drove straight to the police station and filed a missing person report. And the young officer there tells me, "Oh, don't worry about it. We got cameras all over the city. We'll find them."
Wicked.
3 days later,
yes.
I guess it was 4 days later, it was July 3rd. Me, my sister, and
Not your sister, me.
I always call you my sister. Me, Lauren, and his mom went to Bent Harbor Hospital it's LBJ Hospital. It's the charity hospital, to see if they had any missing does. And when I got there, we were waiting for a nurse to come down, and I got a phone call.
Hold on. Can I just like put myself in this man's shoes? Can you imagine having to go to your local hospital to see if there's been any does reported anywhere? The horror you must feel to have to do that, looking for answers. This is what I mean about Celeste Rivas's that case I've been covering. I'm going to do some later on it. The parents never looked for her. They knew where she was. They just didn't care. Okay, this family goes to the ends of the earth to try to find their son. Oh gosh, it's so sad.
From the missing person officer, and he said, "Have you talked to have you talked to the coroner? And I said, no, why? And that's when he said, well, they found your son Monday afternoon in the bayou.
Oh God,
Oh my
So
gosh.
then,
this poor man.
then I said, okay, now maybe you'll take it serious. Well, homicide wasn't doing nothing. I went to Pete's Piano Bar, talked to the manager. He emailed us footage of when the boy walked out of the bar. And you have to understand, the bar is not, it's not a standalone building. It's in like kind of like a mall. It's not really a mall, but there's shops and other restaurants and stuff and that. So when you walk out there, you're still inside. And we seen him borrow a man's phone.
Exactly, Kim. Exactly.
And he made a couple calls. Lauren, you know more about the video than me. I ain't seen it in a while.
So yeah, the video, he walks out by himself. He then asked to borrow a cell phone, which happened to be like a friend of the bouncers at the bar. He makes a couple phone calls. The exchange happens where he's cursing at him basically. And Kenneth starts to walk down the escalators because it's a 2-story type building. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like an open outside building, but it's 2 stories. So he goes down the escalator and you can see him going down the escalator in the video. And the video, because it's an outdoor camera, it has audio to it. So you can hear him cursing at him all the way down the escalator. So this is the weird thing about all this is later after we got the video, I started contacting the manager of this bar and I said, listen, this guy knows who
Exactly, mermaid.
your bouncer knows this guy who let him borrow his cell phone. I said, I want to know who he called. So that manager then got in contact with the bouncer and got a screenshot of the call log, and Kenneth was trying to call himself to find the phone.
It sounds
Then
like
when they
you guys were doing more investigating than the police, it sounds like.
1000%.
That last time I talked to the homicide detective in charge of my son's case, last time, he said, I asked him, I got a question for you. And he said, what's that? And I said, did you them 2 men? And he said, yes. I said, in person? He said, yes. I ain't too sure about that, to tell you the truth. They might.
I mean, were these guys even looked into? Like, did they follow up? Like, why? I guess I'm like, I don't get the correlation between the Smiley Face Killer and this, other than being found at the bayou. Anybody else? I'm not getting serial killer, Smiley Face Killer vibes from this. I'm getting the creeps that was grooming this poor boy. Like it was something gone wrong. That's just a feeling I'm getting. You guys put your opinions in the chat.
I don't know. Then I asked him, do you believe what they had to say? And he said, yep. And he said, then I said, did you ever look at the DOT cameras? And he said, what? And I said, don't give me that. The Department of Transportation cameras that all over the city. And he said, no, we haven't. And I said, why not? And he said, because by the time I got the case, they're not available. And I said, yeah, that's because you waited 8 months for an autopsy.
Yeah,
to come
exactly.
back, instead of doing any investigation.
So all of my Boston people will remember this. Remember Jeffrey Curley back in the day? David Yannetti was actually the prosecutor for his case back in the day. Me and him were like around the same age when he was murdered, and he was found in a tote. And the mother knew that he was like, I don't know, right, mermaid. So this little boy, me and him are the same age. So I think it happened when we were like 8, 9, 10 in that, I can't remember the year, but these older boys were mentoring him. They would ride bikes with Jeffrey, and they groomed the mother. They groomed Jeffrey Curley. The mother knew that Jeffrey was with them, and they ended up violently murdering this poor boy, sexually motivated. And this seems similar. The boy's 16. He is in a relationship. Yeah, rest in peace, Jeffrey Curley. Exactly. That case has stuck with me. I remember when it happened, my mother didn't want me leaving out in front of my house. She was like, "You better stay in this yard." So sad, right? And this gives me Jeffrey Curley vibes. Like, first of all, like, he's 16 and he's hanging out with two older guys that are almost 40. Fucking, if there's nothing wrong with that, like, if there's something wrong with that, like 37-year-old guys don't want to be hanging out with a 16-year-old. Like, yeah. Oh, is there really? You'll have to tell me about it. Why do cops not look into cases if it involves an addict or someone with a depth? Yeah, honey, say it louder for the fucking douchebags in the back. They do not care if it has anything to do with an addict or a prostitute, or what else were you saying? Or if they're gay. They don't care. The only cases you will see. How about all those girls being trafficked from Chicago and down south, or all those like really poor neighborhoods? You don't hear about them. But if it was the girl that lived in Beacon Hill with millions of dollars and her father owned a company that made billions of dollars, she'd be all over the news, all over. They only care about certain types of people, and it is absolutely fucking disgusting. It's so gross. That's real.
I'm telling you what, if Houston police find you in the bayou and you don't have a gunshot wound or a stab or, any major trauma, they're not going to do any investigation until the autopsy comes back. And if you notice, all the autopsy comes back are undetermined.
So how
been,
how could he have ended up in the bayou?
I don't know. They like he was drunk and fell in when he wasn't even near the bayou at that point. If them boys were telling the truth.
So this is the thing. So there's a couple things that are not right about this story. So the first thing is that they were going east on I-10, right? East
Right.
on I-10.
You guys, I'm so invested in this story right now. I'm gonna let this continue, and then I gotta go because baby Grunk is like, "Mom, you've been on here for 2.5 hours," but like, I'm invested in this at this point, so we're gonna continue.
Which is away from where they live, the opposite direction completely. The other portion is that they're saying they dropped him off at I-10 in Waco. I-10 in Waco is in 5th Ward. It's a dangerous neighborhood. So where
How
his body was
convenient.
found was 3300 Sweeney.
Oh my God, honey, I will run a whole stream. Yeah, we are going to do Bell Witch. Yes. Maybe we'll do that next Sunday. Mermaid, you give me the information. I can research it and we'll do a stream. I get all of it out there. I mean, I know that we're not in the same part of the country, but like anything, I'll hashtag it and get it all out there. Like cases like that are the cases that I want to cover. The ones that people aren't doing, the ones that people aren't talking about. Like those are the cases that mean something to me. Yeah, we're gonna do Belridge. I've actually deep dived into that. Fucking fascinating. Fascinating.
If you look from where they're saying they dropped him off to where the body was found, it was actually almost a mile upriver. Does that make sense? So the bayou flows from the city down to the Gulf. So he would have had to walk 1.5 miles upstream.
Or further, because I'm going to come downstream a little.
Right.
I wasn't even near the bayou. He was on I-10. If he didn't have a phone, and he was on that street, he would have walked to the nearest convenience store, gas station on I-10, and borrowed somebody's phone, and he would have called me. He had no problem calling me. Trust me. didn't matter what he did, he would call me.
Well, and then you also have to think about this. So the body, and this is speculation, of course, right? But just logically, if the body was in water, it had to be floating for some amount of time. Unless he was on rocks, which we don't know the details of that story because they don't release that to us, how the body was found and whatnot.
Right.
But you would have to think logically that maybe the body might have floated.
Mm.
So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. There's other stuff that
Yeah, I'm not buying that this has to do with the serial killer or killers or this is those fucked up guys that were grooming him. And I'm just gonna say it. I speculate. I say it was them, and they like something went bad, and he ended up being, yeah, this isn't Smiley to me. It's not. But I'm invested in the story at this point. I was going to stop it at some point, but then we're just going to listen to the rest of it because this poor fucking family, like, he was 16 with two much older men. They didn't know. Like, this is the stuff. This is why I'm all about awareness on cases, because it reminds you that not everybody in this world has good intentions for you. And if you have children, you can maybe spot signs. Yes. Oh yeah, go. I love you. See you later, mama. Okay, bye. Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna get some organic soap. How much time do we have left on this? There's only like 10 more minutes of this, and then
has happened in this case, though, that is super suspicious. So after we got the phone call that, had passed and all of that, I asked the missing persons detective, I said, so you're telling me that there's not a case going to be opened for this? He says, no, ma'am, there's not. And I said, okay, so we have all his stuff at the house that's in bags in the front entryway. What do you want us to do with that? It's evidence, right? And they said, well, since there's not an open case, just go get it if you want it. So at that point, my husband was like, or my uncle was like, I'm going to go over there. I was like, no, you're not. So I sent my husband over there. I called a police escort. I said, hey, I need you to meet over at this address. I told him the situation of what's going on. My husband picks up the bags, bring them back. They said, hey, since the bags are picked up, there's no chain of custody. I get it, right? The other things that are weird about this case is when he left the bar, he obviously was wearing the shirt. He also had an Apple Watch on. When his remains were found, what he was found with was no shoes, no socks, a pair of pants, a belt, no shirt, no Apple Watch. He was wearing an Apple Watch when he left the bar.
And he had one earring, one diamond earring in his right ear. But the other diamond earring we found in his jewelry box without a batch. And I even brought it by the post. I bought them because I bought them for for a Christmas present to make sure it was the same diamond earring, and she said it was. So the reason why he only had one diamond earring in his ear is because he lost the batch off the other one and just put it in the jewelry.
So I don't want to get.
That's like all so sad, you guys. This poor family. It seems like whoever unalived him like got him ready really quickly. I'm not an Apple person. Don't Apple Watches have GPS tracking? Like, was it ever turned on? Can they tell if it was reset? Could they, it's really good to see you, Debbie. Like, could it have been all of that? Like, oh God.
Like gruesome or anything, but is it undetermined because of the condition of the body after being in the bayou for that long, or is it undetermined because they actually looked and weren't able to see any signs of foul play?
So I'm going to be transparent with you. I will share the autopsy report with you.
That's a great point, Kim. That is a really good point. It could be someone who knew that this was going around and they were trying to make it look. Yeah, it does sound so much like Riley Strain. It does. It sounds so much like it. And it could be like, you know, we talk about copycats, and if like, and hold on. Oh, I'm only comfortable if I'm sitting Indian style. Anyone else? It sounds like they were trying to make it look like something that it wasn't. But don't they know that YouTube's way smarter than like your average true crime bear? You know what I mean? Like, fuck out of my face with your bullshit, sir. You made this look like it was something that it's not. That's what happened.
If you want to look at it, I I'm at a point. I think it's probably a little bit of both. So when he was ID'd, he was not identifiable by visual identification. He had to be identified by fingerprints. So I think that's part of it, right? What I do know is we have video footage from midnight that Friday night of the 28th, I believe it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, the 28th, and he was pulled out of the bayou.
So I heard them talk about they went to the hospital on July 3rd. So it was July 3rd, around that time, July 3rd of 2025 is when this was happening.
So Saturday went by, Sunday went by, and he was pulled out on Monday at 5 o'clock at night.
Yes.
So let's say 2.5 days is what he was technically in the bayou.
Yes.
Now you got to remember, we're in Houston, so it was 100-degree days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So easily, like, it could be both. But there's even things with the autopsy, if I'm being transparent with you, that doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
So my uncle says that he was 115 pounds at the time when he died. Now, I don't know if when the body goes through processes that it loses weight when somebody dies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
mermaid, right?
he was saying that he was 115 pounds. The autopsy said that he was 89 pounds. The other thing,
Okay, not to be gross, but like decomposition, you lose all of your like muscle, all the fluids and everything. Decomposition, if you're 115, being 80 pounds when you're found later isn't like that big of a stretch, right? They said the same thing about Celeste Rivas Hernandez, that she was like $110 and was like 79 pounds when they brought her to the ME's office. It was because she was so badly decomposed.
that was really off is that the part of the autopsy report says that he had orthopedic hardware in his neck, and that kid has never had surgery in a day in his life.
Wait, what?
So why does the autopsy say that he has orthopedic?
Wait, why did they autopsy the wrong person? I fucking kill. I mean, so wait, the autopsy report said that he had hardware on his spine, right? Hippie chick, exactly. You heard that too, hippie girl. So he never had orthopedic surgery, but they found hardware in his neck. Kids, what the fuck is happening with this case? We have to deep dive this. We have to deep because we're going to be covering this more because I'm fucking fascinated.
Orthopedic hardware in his neck.
Was there any detail on that? Like what
Nope. Like I said, I'll send you the report because I can't make ends meet on it. They did send off for toxicology. Nothing came back on that. There was 3 specimens that were tested.
But like they said that they just said that they found him through his fingerprints. So his fingerprints matched said boy, but there was hardware in his, and he's 16, never had orthopedic surgery. What? And nobody threw a red flag? Nobody was like, wouldn't the ME like talk to the people and be like, did the boy have any metal in his body? I can't go to the airport without having to disclose I have metal in my body. Yeah. I mean, did they find it? Did the killers like peel his fingers and put it with somebody else? What the fuck is happening? Wait, this kid was 16 dating men in their late 30s and they knew about it. He was living with them. There was 2 bodies found together. Was there two? Right. But if you get the fingerprints off the body, and it says that it's the kid, like their son, their cousin, and then he has hardware in his spine, and he's never had surgery. Does he have anything identifying him? Does he have any tattoos? Right? I have tattoos. Like if I ever go missing, just know I have tattoos. I have a huge one on my ribs, and I have one on my arm. Like, oh my God. It's so sad, Debbie. This poor family, and no one will help them. Why didn't they get arrested? Oh my fucking God. Why they let it? All the questions, valid questions, Mermaid, valid. Dental records. Thank you. If there were hardware, yes. Oh, good point. See, Kim, this is why dental records. Thank you. I mean, what happened when they were like, my son never had any surgery on his spine? But did they check the serial number? Did they know to ask them? The incompetence.
And one of the specimens was inconclusive because I guess the sample was not adequate enough. And the other test that was done is they thought something might be wrong with his neck.
Suspicious.
His neck.
Suspicious.
So they did some kind of autopsy test where it was sent off to like a specific pathologist or something, where it had to do with, I think it's I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, we need to make phone calls
to see if it was broken. They came back and said, no, it's not that. And like I said, it's all written out because it's in different part of the report, right? It's at the very end. And they have like diagrams drawn out, and there's somebody talking about it. Well, not talking, but writing about it, right?
Do you think that, I mean, there's been all of these bodies found in the bayou. Do you think
Don't
that
even
this
ask
could
it,
all
Brian.
be connected? Or do you think
Look at him.
Kenneth's situation is just isolated and different people know to just drop bodies there because, you know, they become unidentifiable base? I mean, like, do you think it could all be one connected thing? I mean, what do you think, Lauren?
So I don't know, if I'm being transparent with you.
We're gonna answer it before her. This is not the Smiley Face Killer. This looks like the groomers that the 16-year-old boy was living with, or someone that they know. This poor family. Someone needs to tell them. You need to like check. Like, oh God, Kung Fu Panda.
When you're looking at it, Kenneth's case is very different than all the cases that have happened this year. The majority of the cases that happened in 2025, they're African Americans. They're in the age group between 20 and 40. Kenneth doesn't really fit that same profile. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if we have a serial killer here, or it's the scum of society who have figured out that they can dump bodies in the bayou in hot months and they can it's, if you don't shoot them and there's no evidence of like a bullet going in or somebody being stabbed, do you have
That's a very good point. If there's no way of tracking how, like, if there's no evidence or like a bullet wound, or if the body's so badly decomposed they can't tell if the body had been stabbed or something. They really just don't know. And throwing a body in the wet, humid, sticky heat in Louisiana or wherever, Texas, or to have them decompose, it's literally a perfect murder. And they know that other bodies have been found there. There was 17 bodies total found. And at least they have the wherewithal to be like, no, I don't think this is Smiley Face. I think these are these fucking idiots. The fucking criminals who hurt my son.
An out, you know what I mean? Do they have a way to just dump bodies and never get caught? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
The other cases, I don't know. The mayor said, our homeless end up in the bayous was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. He says when homeless people die, their friends just throw them in the bayou. Who would do that?
Good
He
for
said
you,
something
sir.
like, "Oh, you think they call up a funeral home? No, they don't call a funeral home. They call an ambulance and say this man's dead.
Right.
They don't go throw him in. So." Yeah, there's too many bodies. Something's wrong. And Lauren could be right. It could be all these people know you throw the body in the bayou, most likely you ain't going to get caught. Or who knows, it could be a serial killer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's a serial killer or not.
And just my last question, how determined are you to keep this, in the public's interest? I mean, it sounds like the police aren't doing anything. I mean, what
So
can you
sad.
do now?
Well, so I'm kind of the mastermind behind this, of course. I feel like we have to be super strategic on what we're doing, and partner with people that we know want to do good for our family and want the same answers as we do. So my goal moving forward is to be as loud as I can.
Good for
Because
you.
if you're loud, you can't be ignored.
Yeah.
And
Squeaky
that's what
wheel.
we're doing here. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve to die.
His life was just starting.
Yep.
Yeah, young kid. It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Wow. Well, I didn't expect that. I want to follow that story. I find that to be, the poor family. I can't even imagine. And then with all of the Smiley Face Killer stuff going around in that area and stuff, and it's just like you don't know. They don't know. I mean, it's pretty safe to say that the people that packed up all of his shit and put it in the hallway was like, here you go. Probably had something to do with it. If not them, someone that they knew. Having no shirt, no socks, no shoes, no nothing. Oh man. Yeah. Next week, if you guys have any suggestions on topics that we should do, put it down in the comments. If you have not liked this video or subscribed, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of unsolved cases. Mermaid, get me any information about the unaliving of your daughter's friend, and we will put that shit on blast, girl. We will put it on blast. I can't. I just said to him, he's tearing up Nana's nerves. I'm like, get your clothes on. We're going to get organic soap. Yeah, thank you all for joining. I still want to do spooky themed lives too. Yeah, please do, Mermaid. That'd be great. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. I might be back later. I want to cover updates on the D4VD or the David case and go over some Brian Walsh and Lindsay Clancy. If you got, Calypso, I didn't even see you. Hi, beautiful Cali girl. It's good to see you. Yeah. So I'll be back later with some different cases that we've been covering and kind of updates. I wanted to kind of let it accumulate before I covered it, just so that we weren't wasting anybody's time here. I definitely want to go over Lindsay Clancy because that case really is upsetting, like for everybody, right? For everybody. There's multiple victims in that case, and those poor fucking children. I would never want to be Lindsay Clancy. She suffered from postpartum depression. That shit is so real. Okay, that shit is so real. And now she's up in Taunton State Hospital. All the horrible shit in the world. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining me while, that case is Calypso. I mean, a mermaid. Yeah. But I'm going to go over it later. If you guys are around, I don't know when. I may or may not be back. I'm not sure. But just look out for the 911 call is horrifying. And too, her husband still stands by her. It's just and anyone who's like, I can't believe a mother would do that. Have you ever had postpartum depression? Have you ever had postpartum depression? I had postpartum anxiety. As soon as the sun went down, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. Terrible. Like, I never thought about hurting myself or him, but I like having that amount of anxiety after giving birth for months with no sleep and like trying to be okay. I can imagine that it's really fucking hard, especially if it's hard. I was hospitalized. Yeah, it's no joke. It is no joke. I literally, like, Katie was in the NICU for like 3 weeks. And when we got home, after we got home, it was when the anxiety was ramped up anyway, but we got home and I was alone with him. Like, I couldn't believe they let me like take the kid out of the hospital for months. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't answer my phone. I did nothing. And you couldn't help you. There was nothing you could do. And so I can't even imagine it being at the point where you are literally talking about self-harm and harming your child because you don't know what to do and no one's helping you. They're just fucking doping you up with medicine and hoping for the best. I am not going to make her out to be anything but a very sick mother. Those poor kids, It's fucking terrible. All right, guys. I am going to go to Whole Foods and do my things. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and like the video. And I'll be back with some Lindsay Clancy and other ones. Yeah, lots of love. Yeah, she was begging for help. Begging for help. Yep. All right, guys. See you in the next one.